All right, everybody, we're live. Chris C, the Slasher Dude here. Got my man Dirk here on my right, and then with Darren on the bottom. So we got the three Giallo Kings here.
Hey guys.
And it's a great first time to have them both on here and stuff like that too. Very cool. 96 subs. I'm very blessed, Slasher Dude, and almost there.
Man.
So.
That's killer, man. And I advertised it on Instagram as well.
I do appreciate that, Dirk. Thank you. Yeah. And thank you all for joining me for my top 10 favorite films for the time being. I do a lot of stuff off the blue, so it's one of those situations. And got my lucky hat on. So today we're going to be talking about 4 Giallo-inspired films. My man Darren down there suggested this idea, and I think this is a great idea. I decided to add one to this because I've seen it already. These other ones were first-time watches, and I'm so glad I did because I love this genre a lot. And I love when films take that aspect of that into that. It's like Mario Bava's Blood and Black Lace. I mean, American directors just talk about that to praises and stuff like that, and you can see why, and you can see those elements in these films. Hitchcock, all these people, and it's just great. You can kind of see the
man. Without
that aesthetic.
Blood and Black Lace, man, I really don't feel like Argento would have been as strong as he is. I mean, that's just my opinion, but
yeah,
and like the girl who knew too much as well.
Yeah, I understand the style of Blood and Black Lace with the color and just the way. He kind of like put the blueprint out there, but then Argento. He changed it up,
He modernized it, didn't he, in the late 60s, early 70s? Yeah.
I'm just saying it's very, very important film, but yeah, man.
Yeah, just great stuff, and we're going to get into this. Got some few heavy hitters here in the chat already. So, Pap, thanks for joining, my friend. Always here in different channels, just doing great. Appreciate that.
Hey, man.
Saying what's up to Dirk, and
what's going on, man?
What's up to Darren? And here's Texas got the panel of paint on the TV. That's right. the yellow panel of paint. So it's
Tex. Hey, Tex.
What's going on, Tex, man?
So great stuff. So the films that we're going to be talking about today are Klute, Don't Look Now, The Neon Demon, and Last Night in Soho. First off, let's get your gentlemen's views on these films real quick. Then we'll get started. Go ahead, Darren.
Yeah, you start off with Klute. Just looking at my edition now, I'm not sure what editions you've got. This is the
Criterion.
The Region B.
I got the Criterion coming. I don't have it. This is my first time seeing the film.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'm interested to see what Dirk thinks. I think I know what Chris thinks about it, but this is a great one. This is it's definitely, obviously we picked it for this stream because of the Giallo elements. It's got all that. I love like the New York, the gritty New York look, because it was filmed, I think, in Harlem, a lot of it in New York.
Yes. And it's shot on location.
Yeah, back when, this place was like the scum of the earth. You could tell, the place was run down. And I mean, it catches all that in this film and more, I think. I don't know if Chris wants to go over like the, quick story or...
I can do it.
I don't know. Just
you got a synopsis? You got one, Chris?
Just a quick one. I just kind of wrote down, so it's like I'm glad we kind of changed the time to just give this.
Okay, because I got one. If you don't, either way.
Just a quick one, then I'll turn it to you, Dirk. Just with my impressions, but the quick story is, like I say, Klute. He's like a private investigator. This is my favorite role by Donald Sutherland and Jane Fonda. My goodness, but Donald Sutherland, he's Klute's a different type of cat. You can kind of tell. It basically starts out as a dinner. A good friend of his is missing, and that's the idea of trying to find this person. And of course, it starts out, a great like intro to the film with this mini cassette player, which seems to be ahead of its time, just being placed down. Then you hear Fonda's character start talking and stuff like that. Then it just starts. And he's since he's a friend of the family's for this person, a lot of dirty stuff has been found out possibly about him, or so you think. And he is the family asked him, "Could you help us?" Yes. Do I help you find him because he's a friend of mine? And then he goes to see Fonda's character,
and Tom Gruneman.
Yeah, and really, yeah, and it just goes on from there, just with great acting all the way around, and I really like it a lot. To Darren's point, like the aesthetic of everything, like the grittiness of New York in general and Harlem in general. Specifically, the room that her character is staying in and stuff like that. I always thought that's pretty trippy scenario with that. Go ahead, Dirk. Just give your kind of quick synopsis on this bad boy.
Okay, it's like you got like this big shot business tycoon guy, and he, it's kind of like what Chris was saying. He's a friend of Donna Sutherland's a private investigator, so he gets him to check out, because Tom Gruneman died, was murdered, and the police they have no leads, but they found some letters in Tom Gruneman's desk, which were letters to Jane Fonda's character, Bree, the prostitute, and so anyway, so she's like an aspiring actress, but she can't land any roles, but she's very great at being an actress when she's a fucking prostitute.
Yeah.
But anyway, they kind of like team up. Like at first she don't want to cooperate with Klute, but then she ends up, cooperating with him. And it's kind of like that to me is very much like the setup of a Giallo. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, even though he's a PI, not just a normal person, still very much like a Giallo setup. But man.
Go ahead. I was going to say, because you've got like the kind of, because obviously she's like this prostitute. She's kind of what you would call maybe like a David Hemmings type character from Deep Red, like an amateur sleuth. They both
she's very, very nervous and very paranoid because she keeps getting these phone calls with a breather on the phone. And the phone is very key. And I was going to mention that too about the phone, man, because the phone is not as effective today. For like, if you grew up with the phones, it's more effective. But you know what I mean? Like that ring of the damn telephone, just in the still of the night when it's dark and it's silent and the fucking phone rings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the films, it's just not. Like, you can't do that anymore, of course, because everybody's got a fucking cell phone, but
and for the time, like 1971 as well, I can't remember anything that like really did that, with the phone call thing, before that at all, really. Obviously, we had Black Christmas. That was a couple of years after.
When a Stranger Calls, same thing after that.
Yes, I think that was very much so.
Very relevant in horror, and I believe that element has been, we can't help it. I mean, it's the sign of the time. You just can't use that shit anymore,
Right.
So
that's what makes these films just unique and so ahead of their time, in my opinion.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Did you pick up on like the Giallo-esque score as well? Because that is great. That
was everything to this film. The score is everything to this film. It adds to it, a lot. I like the relationship between Sutherland's and Fonda's character a lot.
Yeah, because
I like the dynamic between the two a lot.
She's she's a very good actress. With her tricks, with her Johns, she is for every fantasy, whatever they want. But Klute can see through all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And he's very reserved, very silent. He's not playing into her shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
It's a damn good movie, man. I'm glad y'all mentioned this, brought me on, man. It's cool.
Oh yeah, it's the one get to that one scene where she finally invites him in and starts talking to her, and somebody's on the roof part because he sees
somebody's watching her the whole time.
Yeah, somebody's watching her the whole time, which is really trippy when you
get
farther into the film. When you get farther into the film, it gets a little bit interesting. And with that, and there's that kind of cool kind of chase scene, right, where he goes up on that roof, right, and everything's dark, right? You see a little bit of red, I think, in there, but everything's dark. And he loses them. He just finds a bunch of those kids, I think, just smoking out, just doing their thing in there, A quick thing, too, the late, great Roy Scheider is in this as her pimp. I might as well just put that out there. And, boy, what a performance by him.
Man. That's Tripsy in him as a pimp, dude.
Yeah.
So then I found out that because of this role is how he got bigger roles. So without this role, he probably would have never been in Jaws. I mean, that's
in the French Connection, right?
About,
Yeah, the French Connection. He's in that one too.
But Jaws is that's his.
Oh yeah, no, that's his claim to fame. Yeah, it's really.
So I was reading up. I think Jane Fonda got an Academy Award.
She did. She got Best Actress for this.
Right.
Yeah.
For this, yeah. So if you got actually kind of put that into perspective, this was quite a massive kind of hit back in the day.
No,
but
did really well.
It does not really get heard. Like, not many people talk about this film today, which I don't know why.
And I didn't realize that this director, Alan Pakula, is the same director as To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, Alan J. Pakula.
And The Pelican Brief. I mean, he did some really banging ass movies. Man.
I didn't know he did The Pelican Brief. Dang, that must have been his last film or something. Or I don't know, but
he's a damn good filmmaker. And I seen Jane Fonda. So she went and met with real prostitutes and hung out with them, and real pimps, and just to kind of get this character down. And then she went back to the director and wanted out of her contract. She was like, she didn't want to do the role, and she even told the director to get Faye Dunaway. And I don't know if that's a jab at Faye
Dunaway, because Faye Dunaway was doing would do Eyes of Laura Mars a few years later. That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's kind of like almost like a shot at Faye Dunaway, though. Yeah. Like get her to play the whore, like the prostitute. I don't know.
She's great. She's beautiful. She always has been. As a person, a little bit. My stepdad's a Vietnam vet. I'm just going to say that. I know she's been known for being a shit disturber and all this other stuff. But as an actress,
she's a huge feminist.
Yeah, but I have to admit, but I have to admit, in Klute and stuff, she's really, especially when she's getting on with that John, talking to him, what do you want, and all that stuff, and you see her naked for a brief second there, you basically see it, and you're like, oh my goodness, it's like, it's just really, it's the best role to me by her, and I've seen Donald Sutherland in quite a few films, but this is his best role to me. He must have been nominated.
I mean, she nails the role. Her as a person, I'm not a big fan.
Right.
But I know she's a great actress, though, and I can separate the two. So it don't take me away from the movie or nothing. So.
But there's
she definitely had a lot going on during the film because, like you say, she was
activist against Vietnam and
she did a lot. She was big to do with the Black Panthers as well.
Right.
Because she was going to like Black Panther meetings in between filming, and I was watching up on that. I was like blown away because, she had her fingers in a lot of pies at that time, due to all that stuff. But
I mean, this is not really a spoiler though. So like the character, so she's damaged, but it don't explain it all the way. Why? Like she is the way she is. I'm thinking something happened to her, like she was abused early in life or something. But whenever she's a prostitute and she's in complete control, she can act her ass off. But when she tries to be an actress and somebody else has control over her,
she doesn't like that.
She clams up and she shuts down and she don't give her best performance.
It was kind of
the character, not Jane Fonda, but the character.
I think with the character, there's kind of daddy issues going on. If you look into it a little bit more, because she strikes up a very good relationship with the pimp, Roy Scheider, and even towards the end of the film, like I think there's a phone call at the end of the film, and something like, "Is that him?" or so she kind of still got that attraction to the pimp.
It's a friend of hers calling to say, yeah, he's okay. All right, yeah, no problem. Okay. She just hangs up the phone in the middle there. It's we can continue on basically like what Dirk was saying, that he's trying to find out who, because I believe he's still missing in this film because they never find him. I don't think they ever do, but they find that and he's trying to find out what's really going on, and there's really good twists in here. Like I say, to your point, Dirk, when he goes, because she's rejecting him at, like, I'm not going to help you, then he's at a play rehearsal that she's doing, and she notices that he's there, follows her outside and stuff like that. That's what I like about Sutherland's character.
She kind of falls for Klute, and she didn't never think she could. It's kind of got that part of the story, because she's very calloused and cold toward
guarded.
But it doesn't show it toward men or whatever. But
yeah, she talks about that with her therapist too. Like, like a couple of times.
That's where you find out how she really is.
Yeah, and basically it's they dive back into really prostitution pretty good here, where finding out who did this or what's going on. One of her friends, who they lose track of, was beaten up by this perpetrator who they think killed his friend, and they finally find her with her boyfriend, which you figure out is a kind of sad story between those two because they need their fix and all this other stuff. And then there's a scene where she dies. You don't see it happen, but she's dead. They find her in like the river there or something like that, or a lake area there. It's like a boating type place. And there's a good scene kind of like that where the boyfriend just goes up and asks him for money so he can get his fix and stuff like that. And that hits pretty hard, man. That's pretty hard hitting.
Yeah, because he's like, he sees his girlfriend's dead, and he's like, he comes up to Klute and he's like, I need something to get me up.
Yeah. And I'm like,
it's like, fucking dude.
When she, to your point, Darren, when she leaves Klute, right, because everything is just kind of shit and stuff like that, she goes into this club where Schreider's character happens to be at, right? Sits right next to him and stuff like that. He kind of grabs her by the hair and stuff like that. Damn, what a roll by him. And he just puts his arm around, It's, of course,
it just goes right back into the
into the game.
Drugs,
Yeah, into the drugs. When there's a scene where, of course, he goes back to her place, finds out that she's kind of moving, or thinks she is, with Schreider's character. There's a quick fight for that where basically Klute kicks the dude's ass and knocks him out. It says, you're not, this isn't happening, because Klute is he's a very subdued character, right? Kind of the tall dude. I forgot how actually tall Sutherland is. He's a tall, kind of lanky dude, kind of like what
Sutherland's tall as hell.
Yeah, and
I don't know what happened with Kiefer. I mean, the best part of him went on came down his mama leg.
And like you say, some good scenes with them. Like I say, they work really well together as this couple in here, because that's what's becoming. I'll take it over to you, Dirk, again. The conversation that he has with one of his good friends, that happens to be on call over there and stuff like that, when they have it in that office, where just explain that for us really quick, because you probably get that better than I do, where there's a scene where he puts that big wall in front of him and he starts playing that cassette tape again with her talking.
That's kind of
he doesn't want to spoil it too much.
That's kind of the part where you kind of you're figuring. That's when I figured it out.
It's just with this character, with having the tape of her, character, I'll just say that, where you're listening to it, they are listening to it and listening to it and listening to it and stuff like that. They get off on that.
And they're trying to figure out which John. That it was.
Which John did this. John did this because
which one beat the shit out of her?
They beat the shit out of her and they kill her, which you find out later, and it's like, and there's a scene with one of her, you can say John's, which is pretty cool. This old man that runs this embroidery place, right? Or it's like a, where she doesn't have sex with them. She just talks to him, right?
Yeah, he's just like an old sugar daddy that's kind of like that. He's there's nothing physical. He just wants her company and he pays her for her time.
He pays her. Yeah.
But I mean, that's cool. I mean, he's an older guy. I mean,
it's very
older,
cool. Just the people that goes to see and stuff like that. And he mentions that too, or Klute does. It's like, you see this one dude, it's like, it's because he's, he's an old man. He's a good friend of mine and considers that and stuff like that.
Right.
There's a scene where she goes back to him.
What is that? What is that place? It's, there's a scene in there.
Yes.
It's so fucking creepy, man. When you're seeing in the darkness and you can't really see shit. That's
there's coats covered.
Like,
about
there's
these
older
covered
films. Like, when you see scenes like that, they're genuinely that type of shit fucked with me when I was a kid. Scenes just like that, where you just see some shit in the dark, you can't really make it out, but you know something's out there. I don't know. Today is too polished.
Don't worry, Gizmo. Don't worry. We're not going to spoil it real quick. I'm going to stop right now. Don't worry about it, buddy. I understand he chapped in here earlier and stuff like that. So I got you, Gizmo. You're fine. You're all good. But, that scene.
You want to go through the comments, Chris? You want to go through the comments?
Yeah, we'll go through them real quick here, and then we'll just get. I kind of know where we left off at here. I don't do the start type of thing.
Yeah.
So I can just go up and stuff like that.
I'm surprised he's never seen Klute, actually, Gizmo, because I thought this would, even though it's not a well-known film.
It's very cool to see you, my friend. Appreciate that.
Man.
Of course, Mr. Oates. It's all good.
Hey,
Klute, not seen the other three. Okay, so we'll keep that to a minimum. We'll give our kind of reviews on that and stuff real quick, and
and
all this stuff too. 4K Lowdown, thank you, my brother. Cool dude. This guy's really awesome guy and stuff like that. I've been on a few been on the Instagram stream with him and stuff like that. Very cool guy.
Hey, man.
Pro wrestler and stuff like that too. And gotta love Gizmo. Also went with Real Positive to get down the inside of the best thing with the production. House of the Rising Sun. And here we go. This is about right. Yeah, Jane is 5'8" and Donald Sutherland is about 6'4". So yeah, I'm 6'4.5". So that's about that's about right. That's about right. But like you said about that twist, and that scene that you're talking about, because I think it's like a coat factory or like a washing type place, because all those coats and stuff like that. Because there's a scene like where she's walking through these coats that are all hanged up, right?
Yeah.
In plastic, and they're in plastic, and you see some eyes. I'll just say that you see eyes in a reflection. You don't know if it's a reflection, if they're in there for like a brief second, and you're like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on?"
Right.
So
that's so creepy. Like Dirk said.
The ending to this is very good. I kind of knew, possibly. Well, they kind of explain who the person is that's doing this, but the ending I liked a lot, specifically the very ending of that between the two characters, and then that scene happens. I was very kind of happy with that, and I was happy with the ending. So this right off the bat, this gets a strong 8.5 out of 10 for me. I really like Klute a lot. I was born in 79. These 70s films, these early 70s films, that's when they were experimenting. These indie directors, as I call them, right? This new group of people like the Spielbergs and all this stuff. And this gentleman right here that directed this coming in, giving a different. And to Darren's point, there's Giallo. It's Giallo inspired with the music. The lighting is really good in this.
The whole setup of the film.
Yeah. The locations.
Actual American Giallo. Right? I would definitely consider it American Giallo.
Yeah. What I liked about it as well is like less is more, because we don't really see a lot. We don't see the kills. And I think that actually works in favor of the film, because there's this like real kind of like brooding atmosphere throughout. And then when we do get the final reveal and, what happens there then, it does kind of come as a bit of a shock in the way of what happens. But, that's all I'm going to say about that. But, I'm glad you guys like it, because I was a bit, when I champion a film, I'm always a little bit apprehensive,
this is highly recommend this one. And that's what I was saying. I don't want to spoil it.
Just definitely.
Because, there's a certain point of the film you'll probably figure it out, but it's still solid as shit. It's a damn up until that point, I don't think you'd figure it out. Maybe on a rewatch, you'll see where you should have figured it out.
Yeah.
I know that's hindsight's 2020 shit,
Yeah, so, hindsight 2020.
But I give it a strong 7 out of 10, man. It's solid movie.
Yeah, solid film for its time. Like I say, to me, it's a breakout performance by Jane Fonda. I know she's been in other stuff, and I forget her father's name because he was an actor. He was in the Grapes of Wrath. Yeah,
Henry Fonda.
Yeah, Henry Fonda. I mean, because there was an interview, I think it was CBS This Morning, where they talked to her and stuff like that too. Where she talked about her career and other stuff too. And I'm like going, oh, of course, Henry Fonda's her. He's also in 12 Angry Men, right? So, I mean, it runs in the family.
Oh, he's been in a bunch of damn.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch, but definitely
very like masterpiece cinema type films,
Yeah.
I was watching as well. She kind of, because if you notice films before this, she kind of got like this shag haircut during the film.
She did.
Yeah.
And she literally did actually, she started the trend of that haircut, because this is the first film. I think she said somewhere along the lines of she was one of the first to get that actual haircut done. So I think that is
beautiful. Just a beautiful lady. She's also the one that kind of started the whole aerobics videos.
Workout.
I'm like, what's up with this? Right?
In the 80s, man.
Oh, right. I've never seen that. Obviously.
You've never seen the Jane Fonda's workouts and shit?
Oh, no.
All over the place, man.
Without that, you would not get Let's Get Physical.
Fitness trainer,
Yeah. Without that, you would not get Let's Get Physical.
For video, like on video.
Yeah.
But yeah, she made a ton of money off that shit.
Yes, she did.
So. Her acting in this film, though, was phenomenal.
It is. It really is.
I know Chris said, he loves Donald Sutherland's sort of portrayal, but I think she's amazing in this film.
Yeah, I think he does good for what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And even though the movie's called Klute, which is
right,
it's called Bree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. She's a phenomenal actress in her day, back in the day.
It's definitely her movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I totally agree.
What would you give it, Darren? What would you?
I got to think now. While I give it on Letterboxd, I think I'd give it an 8, but it could have been a 9. Depending on what day
it's
you
one
watch
of those things. Maybe a rewatch. To your point, stuff changes and stuff. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I highly recommend the Criterion release as well. I think if you're gonna watch it with that, because this was out of print. Because this came out on DVD a while back, and it just became out of print straight away. I think it was going for like silly money.
Yeah.
And then when Criterion said they were doing the release, I thought, yeah.
Well, right after I watched it, I had to get the Criterion of it. So,
yeah, some of the extras on there are great as well. I haven't dived into all of them, but
yeah, I mean, Criterion, they pack the shit down with extras.
Right.
They really do. Like the one that we're coming on to. Holy shit, the extras on this damn thing.
Yep. We're gonna get to that one next there, gents, and stuff like that. So yeah, Klute's definitely a watch. I highly recommend it. From a 44-year-old Giallo nerd that just started watching these older films, I definitely recommend this a lot. But yeah, the next one we're going to talk about, to me, is a masterpiece of a film. It probably made my top. I know it made my top 20 films of all time. Fortunately, that's I have this Bare Bitch Bones Blu-ray here of Don't Look Now, but I do like the picture though.
That's a really nice addition.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the best one you have, Dirk. Yeah, but
yeah.
This has got like, let me show you this a minute. It's got like a fold out.
Oh, that's a media book.
It's got cards. It's got a book.
Oh my god.
It's amazing release. Amazing release. Obviously, it's region B, but
yeah, that don't matter to me. I'm region free, man.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
This is my favorite. I was saying to Dirk, and I think Chris knows as well. This is actually surpassed like Suspiria.
Yeah.
Well, this was done before Suspiria, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you think Argento saw this and thought of doing that, or one of the films? He had to have, because this one screams
phenomena.
A lot.
But this is like, to have like parts of phenomena is definitely due to this film, I think. you know, without giving anything away. Although I guess everyone's seen Phenomena, and they've probably seen this one as well. But
really,
yeah, Argento would, I think, definitely have seen this.
Oh
yeah. We'll have to talk about it later if it's a spoiler.
Basically, with the kid, you know, in Phenomena, the kind of look, as well.
This director. So I grabbed a couple other titles of this guy, Nicholas Roeg.
Okay.
And what's crazy is I just showed Grayson one of his films, and Grayson loves the damn movie. He wanted to watch. He told me about the movie. He's like, he wanted to see The Witches, the new one, and I was like, no, you got to see the old one. and Nicholas Roeg did this one. This
Witches?
is
The Witches.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I've never seen it.
He did this damn movie. It's a kids movie, but it's great. And Grayson loves that damn movie. He likes it better than the new one. So I was like, hell yeah, man.
That's right. I mean? That's right.
You like that shit better than new shit.
Starting them early. That's right. That's
but anyway, that one and this one. He did this one, which I haven't seen yet. Cold Heaven.
I've heard about that one.
So I just got this not long ago. So I'm really wanting to see this.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know what that's like, because I'd be interested in seeing that as well.
Really like this director though. I mean, and like I said, this is my third time seeing Don't Look Now, but going into a deep dive on it and shit, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a 10 out of 10 film.
Oh, it really is. Yeah, I feel the same as well. It's this should be talked about in the same breath of The Exorcist, The Shining. This should be in that conversation.
It's highly rewatchable because of the multiple ways it can be interpreted.
There's some ambiguous stuff in this film that I've noticed. Big
time.
Go ahead and start us off with this, Darren, on Don't Look Now. Give us
your synopsis. This is your film. This is your favorite film. It surpassed Suspiria. So let's hear it.
So I think this is a film about loss, grief, and fate.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're very heavily kind of, you know, in the plot. So yeah, you've basically got this couple, you know. The first scene is quite harrowing to watch. Basically they're sat, they're working in their kind of big house. You know, you've got the two kids playing in the kind of backyard, or and there's an accident with the young girl. I'm not, everyone probably knows the.
Well, that's not really a spoiler because it happens. I mean, shit, it shows it on the trailer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They've shown clips of this film in top, horror stuff, Eli Roth's horror series.
I wouldn't say that's a spoiler. I think that's the setup of the, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And the way some of those scenes are, with the young girl as well, because we see her upside down, and it's kind of a jarring shot, but it works at every level.
Yeah, when she's running. Yeah.
Everything's so gloomy, and then you see that red raincoat. That coat,
right.
A red Mac is what they call it.
Yeah, red Mac.
That's what they call it. Yeah. And a lot of people pinch that, idea for future films as well. But with this scene, I mean, being a father, obviously, it will get to you. I tell you, I think even in general, even if you're not a parent, this scene will get to you, because the girl, she loses the ball in the pond, and she goes to get the ball and falls into the pond. But the way it's shot is incredible, because this guy, I think is his name John in the film. He gets second sight and he doesn't know it. Where he can
it's intuition. It's intuition to me. When it's like he knows something's going on. It's like he hears it.
Right. He automatically, but
he automatically knew.
Yeah, it question, but there's more questions that come. Even after you see this movie several times, there's still that question, like, what went wrong? You know what I mean? Was he too involved looking at them damn slides?
Yeah, because he's an architect. Yeah.
It's very, but I love that it don't explain it. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that scene too with the what is it, the splotch of water that's on the picture of their daughter in the church, right?
Yeah. When you see that hooded figure in the church.
And it just runs off there. That's great.
Automatically just runs out the damn house. And it's just like, what the fuck's going on? And like, when you first see it, you're like, what the hell is this shit? This is a big, nice, happy family and everything. And then all of a sudden, man, it just.
Where's that filmed at, Darren? Is that in England somewhere?
That was somewhere in London, yeah.
Okay.
But what I like about that scene as well, the first time you watch the film, you might not even pick up on, that slide with the red figure.
Right.
Because I don't even know if I picked up on that straight away when I first watched it.
No.
Obviously on repeat viewings, it's a major part of the plot.
As it comes later in the film, when it's showing the flashbacks, that's kind of when you know what I mean? Where that slide. I don't want to go too far ahead, but it's on my mind, so I wanted to ask y'all. Okay, the scaffold scene, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so how the slide, when he's looking at the slides and there's like this big magnifying glass, and it's like, do you think that the scaffold scene is a parallel to the fucking slide scene?
I never thought of it that way.
I've never thought about that.
When the board comes through the fucking glass?
Right. Now you've said that, that's my point entirely.
Yeah. Or
that's just one
you'll pick up something new every time you watch it.
The scene, or the scene, jumping ahead to one scene, the scene with the priest when or is it a bishop? He wakes up. And he has that red light next to him, right? He just automatically wakes up.
And he looks like he's in a fucking closet.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on?
What is that about? He's
what's going on here?
Fucking room.
It's like, what?
It's like the character, like the superb, right? Every character in this film, I think the acting is amazing, superb.
Oh, yeah.
But you've got the creepiness. I don't know if you guys, because that priest is kind of creepy in a way, and you can't put your finger on it.
He's
and the policeman as well. The policeman gives off this real
or whatever.
creepy vibe as well.
Because he's looking right out the fucking window.
That conversation,
you know what I mean?
Right? That conversation between the two. He's drawing a picture.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
He's drawing a picture, right? And you're like, he sees what's outside, and he's all like, I'm like,
worried about it.
Are they witches? I mean, I was talking to you about that, Darren, right? I just put that out there. I almost thought they were witches. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm like, that's what Suspiria comes to mind to me when I thought originally.
Which is going to come up. That's going to come up in another film.
Yeah, are they witches?
But it does. It kind of. Well, we can't spoil the film.
No.
No, we won't. We definitely won't spoil the major spoil. But
you can
coming on to then, you've got the grief of this couple. So basically, he kind of got to go to work to get away from things over in Venice. He's like restoring this church.
Let me mention this right quick. So there's two other titles of the film. I always try to find all the titles.
Yeah.
So there's the other title is In Venice, A Shocking Red December. That's the Italian
Red December, dude.
And then there's another title, Death in Venice.
Yeah.
But
which definitely makes sense. But coming on to the scene now where they're sat like basically having dinner in this place. And then this is where we first come on to the two old ladies characters come into the film. Right. And it's such a good scene because...
Was it the towel lady that's in the bathroom or whatever that one just sits, to clean the hands and all this other stuff? That shows how old school this is, right? She's just sitting back there and you're like, what's going on here,
And that character actually reminds me a lot of the one character in Suspiria when you've got the old lady and she sat down with the boy.
Right.
Just gives me that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But these two characters are amazing, I tell you. You've got the one blind lady who's got second sight. She can see ghosts of figures and all that. And the one lady gets something in her eye, I think it is. And so Laura goes over there and she starts talking to him, helps him out a little bit and all that. And then they tell her, we've seen your daughter. She's been sitting in between you.
Yeah.
And again, I'm goosepimply talking about it because I love the film so much, obviously. But just that scene alone, and she says something along the lines of, "Yeah, we seen her and she was laughing," you know. And I mean, it's such a strong scene.
Yeah, she breaks down a little bit where she's like, you know.
But he's having none of it, is he? You know, John.
No,
he's a skeptic.
Her husband's like, hell no, he's dead. So, or she's dead.
It's so crazy because he's a skeptic, but he himself has the
oh, he's coming.
Yeah.
Did I go for a second?
Like you mentioned earlier, Darren, he has the second sight too, but he's like denying it, kind of. But instinctively, you know, he can't help it. It's just natural to him, like at the very beginning. But then it's almost like his wife is like the polar opposite of him.
Yeah.
Where she's more receptive, she's more open-minded. And also what I will say is, like, after watching this film, like, I think this is the best couple to ever be shot on screen.
Sutherland and Christie's,
because they love each other. Like, you can tell, even though they lost a child, they weren't defeated by that. You know what I mean? Like, they have this love that keeps growing and growing, and it reminds me and my wife.
Very cool.
To be honest,
right?
I told Tasha that. I was like, "This shit, you got to see this damn movie." But she won't. You know,
like you say at the start, you know, they have a son now. He's away at another school type of place, right? Back in England or whatever it's at.
Right? Yeah, like a boarding school.
They mentioned that, of course, later. To that point, to go off of that, Darren, like I said, she comes out of the bathroom, sits down for a second, and starts talking to her husband about it. And like he says, and he mentions it later, she's happy, right? As long as she's happy, then that's good and stuff like that. And then she gets all woozy, and then it's just that scene where she just falls on the table, and the table falls, and you see the red wine or something like that. Yeah. That just kind of oozes kind of out there like that. And
like
then
glass breaking.
Yeah,
a lot of times in the film.
Yeah, she wakes up at a hospital right next to where children are at that hospital, right? So happens to be right next to this place, you know, with those windows, right? All having fun with the kids, all watching them plays. Darren, you noticed the kid had the ball, right?
Yeah. That's not an accident either.
Yeah, that is not an accident, dude.
Yeah, a lot of that shit you'll pick up on it after multiple viewings and shit.
It's almost like the changeling type of stuff, right? You get rid of the ball, or the ball no longer there.
Yeah.
I don't think this is spoiling the movie though. So, do you think that because the way that this movie's like edited, you know what I mean? It's like fragments are all scattered and it's like jumbled up, but it's also like past, present, and future all at one time.
Yeah. It's so cleverly made, like you say.
It makes sense, but then at the same time, it's still got the mystery. It's not 100%. You're not going to 100%. I don't care what anybody tells me.
They use Venice.
You're not going to completely know everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You notice that sign that's outside the church that he's fixing up? It says, what is it? Say Venice or something like that? Or
Venice in peril. And I'll tell you
Venice in peril. Yeah.
That was a happy accident. The director actually said about it. Right. They could not believe when they were filming this that was actually up on there. And he said, I've got to take video of that and include it in the film.
I like the fact they use the boats, right? Because that's their freeway, right? Those are their roads, right? So bridges.
That's another thing that's ironic because his daughter died drowning. Right. He goes to a place that's fucking surrounded by water.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. Yeah. This is it. This is actually the whole. If you think about the whole film, there's water just throughout the whole film. Right. And again, it's no accident,
corridors, like these places you just go into, and there's these towns that are just like in the open, right? When you go through these corridors and you see these houses all like that and stuff like that, you love to look at Venice, man. That's what it's about.
the guy John, Donald Sutherland's character, early on in the movie, he says, "Nothing is what it seems." And that's like pretty much the theme throughout the whole damn movie. And then the random coincidences, right? Like
like fate it plays a major part in this film.
It does. There's a lot of scenes where Sutherland's characters sees stuff that's not there, or you think they're there, but they're not there. I'm like, it's one of those things where, it's like, say, to your point with the ambiguous child holding something, that it's like, okay, where they don't see it either when he comes to pick her up from the hospital. They don't see it because it's like after they leave. So she doesn't see the ball. If she saw the ball, I think it'd be like really freaking out here, but she'd be like, well, wait a minute, there's one scene where the two ladies are laughing. They show them laughing real quick. I'm like going, that's what made me think, different stuff. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
That's definitely a plot device. That's all.
Yeah, that's a plot. Yeah, that's there for a reason.
Right. If I say something else, I'll spoil it.
But with that scene, like, because I remember, because me and I showed this to my nephew a good few years ago, and we had the same kind of conversation we're having now.
Yeah.
Did you find with those two laughing the way they were? Because I know Chris mentioned witches earlier. Do you think she's some kind of charlatan to where?
I think well, I don't
know. That's what's implied.
I thought that.
I don't want to answer that right now because.
Right. Yeah.
Seen it like. It's part of the main, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's kind of trying to put you off the trail of what's about to happen then, basically.
I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense now you say that. But that's kind of a scary scene as well because it
is, man. But it's done definitely for a reason. So, and I think like from what I saw, like because I dug into the special features and shit, right?
Yeah.
And the editor of this film is like very much a crucial part to the way this movie is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, the editor is fucking brilliant. Like, he really is.
I have it. I still need to watch it. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about I'm talking about the editor of Don't Look
This. Yeah, Don't Look Down.
The editor of this film. Yeah, the way it's pieced together, like Dirk said earlier, it's phenomenal. Like filmmaking, it really is, and I don't want to like praise it too much, if people haven't seen it and kind of they go in with too high expectations. But
I think it
honestly,
deserves 2 watches. It definitely deserves 2 watches, at least 2 watches. But this will be one because like I said, this is my 3rd time, and it jumped from a fucking 7 to a fucking 10.
I'm so glad you said that. This is one as well. Obviously remains to be seen with yourselves, but this is one I find every 3 months. And that's why I worked it out as it being my favorite film, because I watched this more than any other film, and I find if I go more than 3 months without seeing it, it's there. It's in the back of my mind. You've got to put it on again. Yeah, right. And it's got that kind of effect.
It's an easy watch because there's so much visual storytelling going on,
Yeah, it's basically like
we haven't even touched on the love.
We're gonna move on though. Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Yeah,
the love making scene with the couple, man. That's like it feels real. You know what I mean? Like
a lot of people praise that scene a lot.
It was rumored to be like they had sex, really, but it's been debunked, I think, in recent years. But like Dirk said, the chemistry of those two is just amazing.
I think it's the best couple I've ever seen on screen, to be honest. And the way that they are, like, even though, and that's what's something else that's different about this one, is they lost a child. And usually in films where somebody loses a child, or even in real life, they drift so far apart. But it seemed like it brought them closer together, almost.
Yeah. Well, certainly that lovemaking scene does, because I think what I got out of that as well, again, without giving too much away, is that maybe that's where she got pregnant again. I know it's never mentioned, to to come in later on in the film.
I never thought about that, Darren. No.
I think so. I think so, because when we get the conclusion we get, I think there's kind of a look on her face of contentment. That's what I think. That's what I think. You know.
Yeah,
I think she was pregnant.
You talking about smiling at the end?
Yeah.
I feel like she's she knows like that everything's good.
Everything's good.
The reason that is because there's another scene, without spoiling the film, where she's reaching through the gate and she says, "My darlings," plural.
That's right. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Absolutely. But with that lovemaking scene as well, the way it's shot and the way we get like flashbacks during it, or like when he's getting dressed after it, and it's all interlinked and all that. And I mean, it's just an amazing, you know, for a sex scene, there's no titillation involved at all. It just gives you like these two characters, how much in love they are, how much, you know, all the grief they've been through and all that. And it's just an amazing scene.
They're also the only ones that are in that.
I was wondering about your hat, Darren.
What's that? Yeah, it's a new one.
Is it spelled backwards?
Yeah, it's French Connection.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
French Connection, huh?
Not from the film French Connection, but it's just a make like of the cap.
Fuck UK. That's what Darren.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Wild, thanks for joining. Appreciate it, my brother. Thank you.
Hey, man.
Yeah, what's going on, Wild Wrangler?
But there's so much with this, man. It's just great. Man, and we've only just touched on the beginning, which is good.
He's and barely scratched the surface, man. Like,
when he's putting up the statue in the church, right? He's going up here. This dude is not afraid of heights, obviously, right? He sees her wander off, right? And you can see the worry is on his face. He kind of wants her there, and he's all like, you know, looking. I'm like going, dude, don't fall, please. Don't just pay attention. You know,
speaking on that scaffold scene again, like y'all do see that parallel though, right? Where there's a pane of glass, it's angled just like his fucking magnifying glass.
And it is
2x10 that comes through the motherfucker.
You are bang on, and I've never seen that. I've never noticed that or picked up on that, but you are bang on. Every time I watch it now, I will put that in mind.
It tripped me out, man.
It has to be.
You say with the scaffold as being the architect, right? So what does he do? He goes up the rope, right?
Yeah.
He actually climbs up there, and he has these things of, you know, glass, I guess they are, chips of it that you put in these places, right?
Yeah,
so he's just like, I'm just going to get a handful of them, right? And start doing that.
He's a restorer of like these mosaic churches and shit, you know? Like,
and there's, like you say that.
He actually did that stunt. Donald Sutherland did that stunt. He had to. His stunt man pushed out.
Right, because there's one shot where you can actually see him in midair. Yeah.
That's there for a while. And I love the camera angles with that because it shows him there.
Like 200 feet in the fucking air, I think.
Yeah. It shows him
and
there.
I mean,
at the bottom, you know, right? Like trying to, like, what's the priest trying to do? Trying to catch him, right? He's all like, I mean,
they don't know what to do, do they? Yeah, they're all in panic. They don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do.
Because if he falls, it's basically stone as well at the bottom. He'd be falling on the stone. And I mean, that's such a great scene in terms of like suspense. Is amazing.
To your point about the priest, he is kind of weird. He doesn't show like a lot of emotion when Sutherland's character is talking to him about, you know, kind of what his wife's going through and stuff like that. Or do you believe in this or do you believe in that? And he kind of hesitates a little bit. Where
there's something about that
where he's.
I think Sutherland's character is real. He's like a skeptic, and he's not a believer of anything. Like he's not. He don't. That's what I get. You know.
Yeah.
But then his ability leads him to his own fate.
Right.
I'll just say that. You know.
Yeah.
It's almost sealed. The fate's almost sealed at the start. You know.
Yeah.
I believe in fate, like personally myself, and I think everyone's kind of life is mapped out.
Nothing's by happenstance at all.
I don't think so. I think we all obviously all come to an end in different ways, and
you're not like Sarah Connor. You're not like Sarah Connor. Then fate is what you make.
No. I don't think you can change fate either. I don't like, you know. Again, we'll come on to with last night in Soho.
I wonder though. It does make me question, like, what if he did have faith like his wife? Because his wife was more receiving of things. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing it through a different lens or something, but because she seemed more open-minded to things, where he is so closed off, and then you see that candle blow out in the fucking church.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think that's where he sees the two ladies there, right? Where he sees the two ladies like in the church, which is a really nice church. He like goes in there, is like going, "Why are we here?" You know, and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
because
he don't like it there.
Yeah, he doesn't like it there. And he sees the two ladies, right? And he's the one that like kneels down, like, so they don't see him. And then there's that instance that happens where it's like, you know, the candle goes out or something like that. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, what's, you know? So, you know, it's that ambiguous stuff, to your point, Dirk, where, you know, it's like,
like we could just sit there and talk about it and don't explain it, and that's fucking awesome. I love
the thing where this stuff is going around this. Yeah, this stuff is going around the city, right? Which is totally like a different story in itself, right? Where he's going on the boat and see this stuff going on, and you're like, yeah, it's like a story within a story within a story, which I like, you know. Sutherland going to these different places. Really, you're literally walking to all these places. And I think, aren't they they're the only ones that are in that resort hotel, right? They're the only ones. It's like everything's all, It's like, we're closing up at the guy says we're closing for the season or something like that.
For the off season, They're
the only ones that are there. I always found that weird, you know? I found that cool, but it's like,
I mean, the hotel owner as well, he's trying to get them to stay in to have dinner and that. He's like, but like you say,
and in Venice too, like when everywhere they shoot in Venice is not, I think there's like one place that's a big place that most everybody would know, but all the other places that they shot in, like, are off the beaten path that tourists don't go, which I thought that's pretty damn cool. The director did.
I mean, what a perfect setting as well, Venice. You know, you've got all the little alleyways and all that. But going on there,
I think Florence wouldn't have worked. You know,
no, or Turin or anything like that wouldn't have worked. You had to have had water because it's the main part of the plot. You know, you get the rain at the start as well.
That's right. Yeah.
But going on, you know, with these two characters and their loss and all that. But in the background, you have these women, these girls are getting murdered, you know, and dumped into the river. So you've got all that going on.
They don't talk about it a lot.
It's like a very small side plot.
Yeah, it's very small. Yeah. Because you don't hear about it. You really don't. Hence to the sign that says Venice in peril, right? So it's like, you know, and you kind of, like you say, look at that.
So, without giving too much away, would you say those murders are linked to what happens at the end? Or do you think that's just kind of in the background or coincidental?
I think it's linked.
I think it's
in the background. I think it's in the background because it's
okay.
It's like, because he sees the person. He's seen the person before, right? Like more towards the middle of the film, you see like glimpses of the red, you can say, and disappears. He finally sees it like after this stuff kind of happens, like, which is great. It's at night, pitch black out, right? You know, and he's like, well, wait a minute, you know, this leads to that, and it's like,
I can see that scene too. That scene is creepy, but we can't really talk about it. So
I don't, like I say, with that, what I just said is never really written for you. You've got to kind of, which I like about the film, you know, you kind of make up your own mind. But so
no,
coming
he did not wild. I kind of see where he's going at with that. Did the son kill the daughter and don't look now? No, he's the one who, because Donald Sutherland's character is the one, like I say, it's like a sixth sense to your point, or like father's intuition. We talk about mother's intuition, but dads have that too, in my opinion. They'll know. I mean, you know, you have these kids just like playing out in this nice field, wet area and stuff like that too. And he hears something and he goes out. That's when the son points out, like on the
I don't think he even hears anything. I think it's just psychic ability. He just kind of knows instinctively.
It's just natural to him. Yeah.
Yeah,
because the two women say, don't they? You know, the blind woman says he's basically got the gift and he don't know about it.
Right.
That's right.
He's resisting it. He's resisting it. You know.
She does.
I'm trying to think how we can kind of wrap this up into the, without saying too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, needless to say, like John, the son comes into play then. He has a bit of an injury going on in the boarding school, and she's basically got to go back to the UK for like a day or two, I think it is, to see the
to see him.
But then we get John, like, really strangely starts to see her around the city
on the boat.
Dressed in black.
We need to go into that, Darren.
No, I won't go too much into that. But
you're right when I think about that, because she is dressed in black, right? So you.
He's foreseeing something to happen that happens in his future. Yeah,
it's past tense. Yeah.
Wow. And that's why we say about him having psychic ability. And you've got to see that, like, the film twice or three times. Well, twice to pick up on that.
At least twice, I would say. But the third time's when I was like, holy shit. But also, like, going through all the features on this Criterion, I'm sure that your shit might even be probably more loaded than this Criterion, but this motherfucker is packed with shit. I mean, really,
I think yours has got the more extras from what I looked into it, so I'm definitely tempted to get that as well.
It's layered film, man.
Yeah, it's a layered film.
It's got like
there's maybe
interviews with the director, the editor. You know what I mean? Highly recommend it.
The commentary track's amazing as well. The director is so knowledgeable.
Yeah,
and he kind of get like a bit like William Friedkin, the way he talks about his films. He kind of gives you all the, no nonsense type thing.
His style of filmmaking is definitely one of a kind, but I would say that he's real. I'm not going to say that he's just like, but I'm saying I appreciate directors like this. He's you could put, like, say, Lynch would be the closest one I could compare him to, because it's outside the box. It's so everything's random and there's no true fucking answers. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's why I like there's layers. To
there's
this.
always a mystery element that you'll never 100% know. But
very good.
But I've got to mention as well the score by Pino Donaggio.
Hell yeah, man!
I actually think it's one of the best scores. Like, if you take Goblin out of the equation, I think he's by far one of the best composers ever lived. I don't think that's
even but he's amazing too, because I just got through watching Body Double and he did that score.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I think Chris is going to be watching that soon as well.
Yeah. I picked through the stacks of stuff that I do have to watch.
I already know Chris is going to like watching it. He's going to like Body Double.
Nice.
I told you, didn't I? I said you'd like it.
Well, we're going to go into it a little bit on the Rotten, but
right.
I'll say that for the Rotten.
Yeah, 5 minutes to talk about it. You should be fine with that. So
yeah.
So I did want to mention as well, there's a couple of films in regards to this film I think goes well with, and the one is Who Saw Her Die from 1972, Aldo Lado.
I've heard of that one. You mentioned that.
It's about a young girl that gets killed in the back, like Venice basically as a back setting. And I think, definitely I would say go into that, not with the mindset of this film, but like in the mindset of like just go into like think you're going to watch a normal Giallo. I think you will really like that. The Haunting of Julia as well, which I know Dirk likes.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of got very similar.
Yeah,
there's very similar elements to both films.
What's her name?
Yeah, it is. Right. It is a lot. I still would have to put Don't Look Now way ahead of.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's really damn good. Yeah,
I think it's kind of like a UK version of it in a way, because when I first saw The Haunting of Julia, I was astounded by some of the similarities to both films, in a good way, not in a bad way, because I think like both films are great. But yeah, there's two films there I would like urge people to check out as well.
That'd be a good double feature.
Yeah, triple feature even. I think honestly, I think you'd like Dirk would definitely like Who Saw Her Die.
Oh, Who Saw Her Die? Yeah, I still haven't get on to that one.
Yeah, try and get the Arrow release. I think it's a US Arrow release of it, and it's amazing. I love that.
I have so many UK releases, it don't matter. So like,
no, I don't. That's what I mean. I don't think it was actually brought out in the UK. I think it was just an Arrow. Yeah, it was just an Arrow Blu-ray.
Can't let you UK guys have all the fun. Get your stuff.
So there's not a UK release from Arrow.
No, there's no UK release. There's not even the DVD. I don't think was. Oh, there might have been a Shameless DVD or.
That's odd. That's odd. But Don't Look Now did really good.
It did.
On its release, and that's kind of for a film like this, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah.
But I guess that the director, what kind of makes him
look at that, just that sexy stash he has in his permed hair right there, almost matches her hair. I mean, that's just like it's like perm with perm, man. You just can't beat it. It's hard
for me to pinpoint a best performance by Donald Sutherland because like Invasion of the Body Snatchers as well.
Oh yeah, with the pointing of the finger.
He's great in that. He's great in every damn thing he's in. But this is close to probably my favorite of his.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's outstanding.
What you I know probably what your score is on it, Darren, but just go ahead and just give it for everybody. What's your score on
Let me think. Let me think about this one. Obviously a 10.
Obviously a 10. I'll do a strong.
It's a strong 10. As Gizmo would say, a strong 10.
A strong 10.
Yeah, it's a strong 10, man. For sure.
I'll do a very strong monkey punch 9 out of 10 from this one. It'll go up there. I remember when I did my review on Letterboxd. Yeah. This might be my top 20 because I did my top 10 favorite films. Don't Look Now is definitely up there. This is an important film in my opinion.
So you've only seen it the once then, Chris?
Yeah, I've only seen it once. So
it's going to end up a 10.
That's why I love this community introduced me to these films because like you said, we've seen scenes from this movie. They've done it like most terrifying scenes in horror. I mean, Bravo did one way back in the day. This was mentioned way up there and stuff like that too. It's that ending scene, which people have seen a bunch of times. Just think Little Red Riding Hood. You're pretty much set, for the whole idea.
I think I was lucky enough to not have seen it before on the first watch. So it kind of just
ending is kind of perfect to your point. The opening is perfect. Yeah. The ending hits the mark, in my opinion. I think there's
for the type
of different endings. I think there's two different endings to this. Yeah.
You can't really say that a film's perfect, but this film, the way that it's done, and it's perfect for the way that it's done. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it's just under 2 hours long, and every time I put it on mine, and I'll be like thinking I'm 10, 20 minutes into it, and it'll literally be over. And it just goes like that, and I mean that's a sign of a great.
That's
film.
What I like films about that, where it keeps you interested, where you see like the runtime and stuff like that. And for me, it's like going, oh, this can go on for another few hours. I would have no issue with that. Watching Donald Sutherland literally walk to these places. It's the camera angles are great for this. The way the camera follows him, just everything from the whole city in general. You get to literally see everything. It's really great, beautiful stuff. So.
Yeah,
it is, man. Yeah, but yeah, man, highly recommend. If nobody's seen this one, I would say stop what you're doing and go watch the damn thing.
Brandon,
right now,
genre fan, horror fan, film fan, this is a must. If you films to watch before you die, this is a film to watch.
But it just trips me out that he did this damn movie. It's so crazy, like that he did the
Witches.
From 1990. You ever seen that one, Darren?
Never seen it. No.
It was a kids film, but it's kind of like a UK kids film too. In a way. Got Angelica Houston.
Oh wow!
Right. Yeah. There's a few kind of his films I've been like interested in watching. I think he did one might be called Performance as well.
I got Grace onto it because Jim Henson did all the special effects and shit.
Oh, nice. Right. Electronics, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nice. So because Grayson was like talking the new one up so much, and I was like, no, don't worry about that one. Watch this one, and he likes this one more. So I was like, hell yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you as well, because he does a Brian De Palma in a way with his interviews where he says he's never seen a Giallo before watching this. I mean, do you actually believe that?
I might believe it for him.
Yeah, because this was made in 72.
I might believe it for him. I can't think of one that would fit his style. You know,
the only one I can think of is Who Saw Her Die, and that came out like a year earlier. But I mean, that wouldn't have been on wide release in the UK. So
okay,
I get.
But I mean, like Suspiria didn't come out till 77, and
right,
or anything close to. I can't think of another film that's like this film, though.
This is not true. Gizmo's just causing shit in the chat again, saying we're not paying attention to the chat, where I'm going through the chat and everything like that. Come on, Gizmo. Come on now. I mean, he hasn't mentioned, knock on wood, he has not mentioned Night Train just yet. So we're still waiting for that, Gizmo. Yeah. We're still waiting for your,
Gizmo says,
I apologize, Gizmo.
He says it would have been wild if Dirk got the messages.
Yeah, it would have been wild to cut them.
But they freaking hate us in the chat. It is almost like me talking in church. Everyone is just turning me their back.
Yeah.
I was going to say I apologize, Giz, because I can't see the comments. I mean, I'm using my phone, so it's really small.
This is a good question there, Guy.
I wouldn't say it's got horror elements, and it's more from what happens, not as far as like a true,
it's a thriller.
The shit out of me.
It's a thriller. Yeah.
This is not a scary movie. I wouldn't say. It's horrifying certain things that happen in the movie.
Yeah.
But as far as like, there is like one or two moments, but nothing that's. I don't know. What's your opinion, or y'all's opinion?
It's hard to put like what kind of film it is, really. Like you said,
yeah.
There's definitely the whole kind of premonition and all that type aspect.
It's definitely
In terms of Giallo, definitely Giallo elements. In terms of slasher, maybe just the one scene, or with the girls kind of
very much mystery, very much mystery, supernatural. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Supernatural's a good way. Yeah.
Supernatural mystery.
Whodunit mystery. Yeah, Wild kind of says it correctly. Supernatural. Yeah, because they put a lot of stuff in this film, right? Like you say, a lot of stuff in here. And that's what makes
it's almost like an Argento film in a way where every kind of scene is like a painting. Everything's just shot so well that it looks almost like a painting.
Yeah. Everything's framed like pretty damn good. I mean, it's next level fucking shit.
It's
man.
not.
And I know we're like really talking this movie up, but I'm not bullshitting. Like
I don't think anyone who hasn't seen it, like watching now, will watch it, will like it. I have no doubts. I think everyone will.
Yeah.
I've not heard too many people say they don't like it, to be honest.
I've never heard nobody say that. So.
Yeah.
And then I showed Tasha the opening scene where he looks like he's coming out of the water like fucking Poseidon.
Right, yeah, no, he looks like he's really deep in there.
Like, oh, and it's all in slow motion and shit. And she was like, man, it fucking got to her, But I mean,
it will, yeah.
But she didn't watch the whole movie, but I had to show her that scene, So.
I think it's one that you could like put on, you could show to someone and maybe start off with them watching it in the background. But I mean, the moment they start watching it, 5 minutes, they're going to be glued.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Because it's
very good.
So much shit going on.
Yeah. That's Don't Look Now. I think we can all agree here. This is top tier, just film in general. I mean, you can put it in any genre you like. I mean, really, that's what makes this film so great in all our opinions. And so for almost perfect scores all the way around for Don't Look Now. Then we do a total turnaround here.
Yeah.
And we talk about another one, which I recently watched a few months ago, and that's this guy right here, the Neon Demon. Brian from Brian Goes Blue has a collector's edition of that. That's really nice, which I think is out of print right now.
Okay. Darren's got a killer one.
Yeah, that's a good cover there, Darren. I don't know if you can explain what that is. I don't think you can explain truly what that is, but it's some type of something. That's all I'll say. But
that's, to me, like, I can't really say. I'll tell y'all after the stream what I think it is after seeing it.
I don't think it would be completely spoiling it to say.
It's a spoiler if it's the same thing that I'm thinking, you know.
It might be.
What it's the same thing that I'm
gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and say it, I don't mind. So it's a symbol of witches. That's what I got out of it.
Oh shit.
Oh god. I think it's the void. I think it's.
But I don't think that's not totally spoiling the film. I don't think. I don't think it's totally spoiling it.
Not totally, but.
Is that what you got out of it though? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once. I had that opportunity to watch it, but it's like, well, when I did watch it, just with the commentary on it, gave me a second opinion on the film. But the first time I saw it, then I watched a stream where they were talking about it, and then that really made me think. I'm like, well, whoa, wait, yeah, that could work. But and we're going to talk about it here a bit too. Like you say, to your point, a lot of layers to this film, a lot of stuff going on to this film. To me, this film it's not strong like David Lynch type vibes in here, but there's a little bit in here.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of shit going on, and he really put Cronenberg ass a little.
Yeah, you even put Cronenberg in this a little bit too. There's some Cronenberg-esque type of scenes in here, and then just get to the point. Go ahead and lead us off, Dirk. Your kind of thoughts on this.
Nicholas Winding Refn, is that how you say his damn name?
Yeah,
he's the director of Drive, and I know everybody loves Drive, but to me, it's a middle of the road kind of movie. You know, I've seen that damn movie 100 times. It was just called something else, you know. But I'm not gonna shit on. I'm not here to shit on Drive, y'all. So I'm just saying. But no, it's an international co-production between France, Denmark, and the U.S. What is the tag? One of the main themes, I guess, the main tagline would be, "Beauty is not everything; it's the only thing."
Only thing.
Yeah. So it's like heavily hitting on obsession with beauty, and this character. She's a small town 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
She's a virgin. She's got dreams of being a beauty icon, supermodel type in Hollywood, and
starstruck. Wow.
And she quickly realizes the dark side of Hollywood, I would say. But she, like, blows past all these other women, like, as far as the supermodels. She just blows past them. Like, she has this natural beauty, and she's recognized for it. And then people are kind of like, you know, they get jealous of her, other models.
Oh, yeah.
They're jealous, highly jealous of her. And she's fucking naive, but she's a 16-year-old girl. And the actress, Elle Fanning, is 16 years old.
Or so you think she is. I'll say that. She starts out to be naive, to your point, Dirk, but I don't know. Like, she seems a little bit more smarter than everyone thinks she is. You know what I mean? She seems to hide that quite well.
She's naive, but she goes through a transition.
Yeah, she evolves into kind of a pretty strong character towards the end.
Right.
She does.
But the reason, like I said, that with the symbols was because I was going to mention this anyway. And again, you know, I think this is the film the Suspiria remake should have been.
Wow.
You don't like the Suspiria remake?
Wow.
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think this would have worked well as like a Three Mothers film. I think.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. But I don't know. I like the Suspiria remake. The only thing about the Suspiria remake I didn't like was the fucking end. The way it ended, I was kind of drawn out. But anyway, I'm not going to go on a tangent about that. But.
No, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I mean, I can watch this quite easily and see it as like a follow on to like Inferno or something like that. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely Giallo
in that realm, I would say.
The imagery, the visual imagery in this movie is fucking amazing. Really,
this is very neo Giallo, very neo Giallo,
very modern.
Yeah, fucking, artsy. To your point,
it's artificial. Like, so some of the themes is like artificial and imaginary.
Fake. Yeah, fake.
Like, but you're in Hollywood, the land of the fucking make believe. You know, the superficial, super fake motherfuckers. You know, but it's just, it celebrates narcissism to an extreme.
Oh God, yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
But like I was saying, the director, man, he seems, listening to the commentary, he seems very cheap because he keeps talking about, well, we couldn't do this because it cost too much, and that cost too damn much.
Yeah, I found that interesting.
And I was like, why does he keep saying that shit? You know, like,
because I don't really care about that. I want to know what you think about the character.
But it's almost like he was saying it in a way to praise himself that he didn't have a lot, and look at all the shit he did with little money, kind of, you know. That's
I know. It doesn't come off as a cheap film to me either, though. It does. No. To me, it looks $1 million in places. You know, you've got Keanu Reeves as well.
I've been to the zoo many times, Gizmo. See, there you go again, just doing fake news in the chat. There you go again.
And so I don't want to tell him to be
no, that's not true.
Sympathetic and nice towards people in the chat, and never visit any zoo. What the fuck? Shit. You know, he's just giving you shit, Greg.
I know. I'm just messing around with them a little.
Yeah, he's just fucking with you.
But yeah, man, it hints at the evil mythology of Hollywood. It's very bunch of abstract imagery. And I was going to ask y'all, like, what do you think the neon demon is? Because I personally think the neon demon could be a couple things, but I kind of feel like that it's saying it's Hollywood.
It is. It's Hollywood. I agree with that.
But it could be something else as far as the story goes. You know what I mean?
It's the industry. It's the industry, right?
That's basically what I got out of it. It's the whole picture. Yeah. Basically, the whole industry and what goes on, and demonic. You know, you could say in a way. There's
a lot going on with the film. That's probably why I like it. Like you say at the start, she's taking pictures with her. It's a photographer. I think she just meets as she goes there and stuff like that, so she can put them into this agency. There's just that interesting thing of what your all thoughts on her. I think she lies about her history a little bit, because there's that scene where she's talking to the dude on the car, right? She's saying where she's from and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about it is, like, is she telling the truth?
Right. And you also, it never explains it, but her died.
It does towards the end. She explains it towards the end a little bit, right?
Did y'all pick up on that?
What's that? Say again?
Did y'all pick up on that her parents recently died?
Yeah, I think they say it once. Do they say it once?
She says it one time, but
she says it once, and that's during the interview.
It never explains. It never says why. You know, like
there's that scene towards the end where, you know, she's talking, where she mentions something about, it's like, nobody kind of believed in me, or like, they said I would always be this or something like that. He says, or she says it. She says, I knew I would be this. I knew I'd be a star. I knew it from a young age. I'm like
pretty much everyone's beneath.
Yeah,
it's extreme narcissism.
She's like almost on like a pedestal when she says that, right? Everyone's below her.
Yeah,
you know?
And we didn't even mention the actress Jenna Malone.
Yeah, Jenna Malone.
She's the one that kills the fucking movie. For me, her performance is the best.
Oh, she's great. Yeah, the photographer, right? Yeah, she's one of the
photographers. The makeup artist. The makeup artist.
Yeah, makeup artist.
But that scene with like, I'm not going to say what she's doing, but she's fantasizing about someone.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That scene is like, that's a what the fuck moment. You know?
Because she has another job So she has another job. There's
but let me ask you this. So this is one of those kind of films where, is she really doing that? Or is Elle fantasizing?
Yeah.
So have you thought about it that way? Is Elle fantasizing about that shit? Or is she fantasizing about Elle?
Right.
I thought she was fantasizing about Elle, but it could be construed different ways again. I think this is another one.
Yeah, it's another film like that, right? So
yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, everything to come as well is all in the mind of the watcher. What you make out of it.
You can say, like you say to your point, Darren, the three ladies here, they're all really good actresses, specifically that one towards the end of the film.
Oh, yeah.
She does a really good job.
Abby Lee.
Yeah, Abby Lee. My goodness.
And she's a real supermodel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's not spoiling a lot, there's a scene in the bathroom where she gets the part. She gets this part, doing this modeling stuff, where she meets her in the bathroom and stuff like that. Something gets shattered, and very vampiric, which I like about that a lot, know, which gets explained later on in the film with a certain conversation, which is like iconic and so good. So it's really, the whole where Ellie Fanning's character sticks out with, there's just her and everybody else all of a sudden. It's just like, to your point, Darren, with your cover of the Neon Demon with that, the triangles and stuff like that, there's that scene where she sees them and she's almost like hypnotized by it, right? Where she's like, to me, that's where the switch starts, where the innocent kind of goes a little bit, where she's like, whoa, oh, like that. And then comes out the other end as something completely different. That's what I really like about the film too.
Yeah, do you know there's a scene early on as well when she's in like the motel or hotel or whatever it is, and she's too scared to go into her room because there's basically a fucking a lion?
A mountain lion or a puma. Something like that, yeah.
No, so that's something I was going to mention to y'all. Like, what did y'all think about the mountain lion? Did y'all think did you think that was a mountain lion? Or do you think that was something, if you know what I mean?
No, there was something in there, though. I mean.
Did you pick up as well? Because the reason I bring that up was we see a lion above, I think it might be above a bed or something later on, or on the wall.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives away, because it's never mentioned who puts that big cat into that hotel room, but that completely gives it away.
There. It just shows up there.
But what I was getting at is, like, do you think that that's an actual mountain lion, or do you think that could be something else?
It could be something else.
You know what I mean?
When I look back at it now, it could be something else. Yeah. It means something, right? We obviously know it means something. I mean,
yeah.
To your point. Go ahead, Darren.
That kind of scared me, that part, because honestly,
I'm scary as hell. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Can you imagine that? Fucking like an escape kind of fucking big cat in your. Oh man. Honestly, I watched down. I was thinking, what the fuck, man? I don't know what I'd do in that position.
Do what you did.
Yeah. But like the Keanu Reeves character is so fucking dark.
That's like the most scumbaggish role he's ever had.
What do you all think about that character? What do you think he represents in that film?
I think he's a fucking pedophile because the way he brings up about that 13-year-old girl.
Else too to me. He's something else to me because he talks about some certain stuff that's been going on in there, and I'm like,
yeah.
Wait a minute, him and his, because he's the landlord of this place, right? And that's just it's kind of a funny scene where she goes to him, right? Where she goes, there's something in my apartment, right? Brings it right here with, doesn't he have a gun on him or something like that? Or
no, he brings his little assistant with him, and he's got a bat.
Yeah, he's got a bat with him, right? Where they're like, and there's another scene with you can say the wannabe boyfriend And
he
goes to him for something like that. And that conversation's hilarious. I'm like, it's like, you can tell he's scared the piss out of him. It's like,
right.
Yeah, he mentions that Lolita shit as well, doesn't he, about the 13-year-old girl? And then you're thinking, fuck me, man. Yeah.
There's a great scene where she's in her place and she's hearing something in the walls, and she goes against the walls of the other apartment, and you're like, oh shit, right? And it's just her just putting her hands and ears up to the wall and just listening, and you're just like, dang, it's just really, really just good. It's good all the way around.
It gets really, really dark, doesn't it? As
the film really dark. There's some very ritualistic type shit going on.
Oh yeah.
Later on.
This is one, again, like you say, it's kind of hard to work out exactly everything that's going on in one watch. You might need to watch it a few times as well.
The head photographer, the head photographer guy that they're trying to impress, that guy,
But I got a stronger idea after the second watch, though. Like, I think I got it worked out pretty good.
I think I have on second watch. Because I really like this on first watch, and we was on Gizmo's channel. I give it like a 7 out of 10. But now it's a fucking 9. I mean, I love this film now. I really do.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I'm close to that. I'm a 7.5 out of 10.
It's not bad. Like, a lot of people think that's bad. It's good, but there's some things that, like, there's just a couple complaints that I can't really talk about right now. But
you can't, Dirk. I mean,
I don't want to spoil it.
Opinion counts, I mean. So,
right. I just don't want to spoil it. Is the thing. Right. That's my big deal. I don't, especially somebody. I highly recommend seeing this one.
Yeah. The ending kind of
2016 film, and it's a really good 2016 film.
It's a very good one. Yeah.
The ending
surprised me a lot. I
was going to say that. Yeah. With all the clues building up to that, like I say, then, like Chris just answered my question. Did you see it coming at all, Dirk, or like, because they do give you a lot of clues. Where on second watch you can kind of make them out.
Yeah.
But first watch you got no idea where that's going.
No, man, it's like a jaw dropper, like for real. Like, I did not see that.
Like the ending scenes that are done really in the dark, where you kind of see that's not going on with
the
character.
There's another thing that happens. So, like I said, we'll save it for later, like when the stream's over. But I can't. But it's
There's definitely a message. There's definitely a message in the film.
The ending song, I forget because Ali knows the ending song.
Oh, that's amazing! That song.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. I like the ending and shows the whole backdrop and everything like that. The whole setting, I like that a lot. It kind of represents kind of what this film is. I do like this cover a lot. I kind of do like that whole opening to the city.
Yeah, that opening shot. Is that right there? And it's fucking amazing. I was like,
I mean, it's kind of true. It's like LA doesn't look like this. It really doesn't. No. But still, though, it's a good neo-noir giallo, heavy neo-giallo. This is probably the best neo-giallo I've seen.
I agree. Totally agree.
Good. It's great to find these. I can agree with you, Darren. I never thought of it as maybe being a spiritual successor to Suspiria. I never thought of it like that. That's crazy.
Definitely, considering the remake, I didn't like the remake of Suspiria. I think this would have been perfect. Alter a few things, obviously. But that final song is
original. So this was done on Amazon, just like Suspiria was. So I mean,
they come out roughly the same time as well. But "Waving Goodbye" by Sia is the song.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. "Waving Goodbye" by Sia is the song that plays over the crowd.
Right, yeah, she's a very good singer.
I love that, man. I love it.
Did y'all notice? I didn't notice until this watch, like the scene at the very end, the other bathroom scene at the very end of the movie. Did y'all notice the blue fucking swastikas on the fucking walls?
No,
I did not.
There's fucking blue swastikas on the fucking walls in the bathroom where.
Oh, that's right. There is. Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, and they kind of pan away from it.
Like, what is he trying to tell us there? What's that?
Right. I didn't pick up on that.
There's blue swastikas at the very end of the film, like in the bathroom.
I'll have to go back now and watch that because of that. But
yeah, it's crazy.
there's definitely hidden meanings and stuff throughout.
Yeah,
for sure.
I will say this: it's not for everyone.
Yeah,
it's definitely not for everybody.
I wish I could do quotes for this, but I can't. There's just that quote from Keanu.
I would love to say a few things, but yeah, I can't.
But like I say, the quotes from Keanu Reeves, what is he saying? He's like going, "There's great stuff here I can get you," or something like that, right? You know, it's like, you want this one? She's this age and shit like that. You're like, whoa, what the hell? You know?
Yeah.
The scene basically
represents, I feel like, the ugly side of Hollywood as far as underage.
Exactly.
Maybe.
And to the point with with the person that's she goes to interview with and stuff like that, when she tells her age, and her history and stuff like that, and then she goes up and gives the portfolio to her, I guess, secretary or something like that, and says, "Okay, no, you're not this, you're this," right? Automatically, because she notices her natural beauty like in a second, and she warns her. It's like, okay, be very careful, because the way you look right now, boy, you're gonna. Yeah, there's a lot of snakes basically out there.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically say as well, she lies about her age. Like, she's 16, but she says she's 19. But they actually say in the film, you're out of the business by the time you're 21. Which is scary when you think about it. And that's just how cutthroat, Hollywood and all that type of thing is.
The scene in the diner or restaurant when they're all talking. Like, that's a great argument there. That's very good. It's like going, yeah, you're right. They're right. It's like, so, they're sending a message out there. So yeah, that's Neon Demon. Yeah, I give it a good 7.5 out of 10. That's my lowest rated one on this list here.
Like I said, I give it a 6 out of 10, but it's it's a very strong 6.
Yeah, no, it's strong. It could be an 8 out of 10. It could get better, but I've seen better than this, but this is a good film by that director.
Personally, this one didn't move either way for me, though. The first time I've seen it, I gave it a 6.
Right.
This time too, but it's still definitely worth it. And
absolutely.
Definitely worth picking up if you're into this type of shit.
I mean, all 4 films are going to cover tonight are totally interesting. All they're different. All definitely got different things.
They're all completely different.
Yeah.
But they're all like got the Giallo elements,
Exactly.
Barnabas raped children and they're ape women.
like
I would imagine Keanu Reeves would have probably been quite a bit of that budget as well, if you think about it.
He was only like a day, so.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
He probably
Keanu being Keanu. It's Keanu being Keanu.
Yeah. He played that like, because he's always playing the good guy and the bad.
Exactly. Yeah. So it comes
playing a scumbag.
Yeah. Scumbag. Yeah. He plays a very good scumbag. Keanu being Keanu with long hair and all that stuff, talking.
He's brilliant in the role. You don't like him, but he's brilliant in the role.
Especially the scene where. When later on, when there's a dream sequence.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Well, it starts with the one scene with the flashing lights, and it's like Circus Soleil stuff going on, and you see how hypnotized they are by it.
The fucking bondage shit going on. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah.
I mean, Jenna Malone, to your point, Dirk, she steals it in this, the redhead and stuff like that. I didn't think that she was, when I found out that she was, I was like, okay, yeah, she is. Okay. It didn't seem like that at first, but I'm like, okay, I see it.
Her acting ability, her performance is top.
It's different level. Yeah, it's different level to the others. Well, with the exception of Keanu Reeves.
Really good for her age, like being 16, she did solid.
That's
what works for her though in that character is the fact that she was that age as well, and she does come across as being naive, but very beautiful, obviously, and completely works for the character.
Yeah, it's just good stuff. All right.
Sorry if I talked over you, Chris.
No, absolutely not. No, you're all good, Darren. You have better thoughts on. You all have better knowledge and stuff like this than I do and stuff like that. That's what matters.
There's no wrong answers.
Not for this.
Yeah.
Okay, last but certainly not least for me, I watched this last night, so this is fresh in my mind. I really like this film a lot. That's Last Night in Soho. Starring Thomas C. McKenzie. I can't say her name correctly.
Thomason McKenzie.
And my goodness, Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
My goodness. You know, I'm more of a redhead fan, but this blonde in this, she steals it in this. I'll give it this. This is a great performance by her. My boy Matt Smith here, he kills it in everything he does, in my opinion. He is very good in this.
Yeah.
A great all-star cast. God, I forgot his name is also in here, on and off.
Michael Joe.
Michael Joe's in here. Very good. The old woman that's in the hotel, basically.
Diana Rigg, and if Darren, you know who Diana Rigg is, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Donovan, Mr. Fives. Yep.
Yeah, well, she was in Theater of Blood too. So.
Oh right, sorry, she was in Theater of Blood. She wasn't in Mr.
She
Fives.
was in the James Bond movie.
She was in the Avengers as well, I think. The
Avengers back in the 60s, and she was on Her Majesty's Sweet Service. Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, Her Majesty's Secret Service. And Terrence Stamp.
And she died. This was her last film.
Yeah, they say in memory of her too, like during the credits. And like I say, Terrence Stamp is in here, great actor. If you haven't seen
he's brilliant for what he does, Terrence Stamp, because that does give you like a curveball, like a red herring.
I've seen Girls Like You all the time. They mention on and off how London is a dark place.
Right.
The woman mentions it, and some other people mention it too. But yeah, go ahead, Darren. Just start this off here. Synopsis of this film, and go to Dirk.
Right. So you got this young girl. I think she's from Cornwall in the UK. She's got dreams basically of being this kind of fashion designer. Right. And then she kind of gets enrolled into this college in London. So she's all excited. I think like there's a backstory of her mother died.
Yeah, they don't go too far into that.
A designer as well, and committed suicide in
Soho. Because she sees her. She sees her because the grandmother mentions that. Have you seen?
That's right.
Have you seen your mom? Right, and that seems to be. They didn't dive enough into that for my taste. I would like for them to get into that more, but they never did. They did sometimes, but you just see her through that mirror, which I liked. You know what I mean? But not a lot.
Yeah, so it's kind of implied that she kind of had the same type of vision,
same issues,
illness,
as her mother. Yeah,
or is it an illness? That's what how it sets it up.
Right.
But I would say, we forgot to mention Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright,
He's the director, the one that did Shaun of the Dead and
Baby Driver,
Hot Fuzz.
I know he's been all over the place here.
And it's co-written by Christy Wilson Cairns. But yeah, I've seen this 3 times now. So, but y'all go ahead. I don't want to. I was just gonna mention that a little bit. Sorry.
No. Yeah. Absolutely. I was just saying for this brief kind of about the story. So she goes down to London. The big bright lights of London, and she starts having, I don't know if it's visions, dreams basically, of this young girl called Sandy and what happens to her.
Surname Alexandra. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that's a funny scene.
Don't forget to mention, as soon as she gets there, the fucking cab driver is a creep.
Yeah, he's a pedo. Yeah,
he's already coming on to her. You know what I'm saying?
She wants to be dropped off somewhere.
I'll be around here a lot, and shit.
He's I'm sure we can work something out if I drive you there. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. She's like,
on her legs and
that's right. That's basically what Dirk was going to say as well. That we was talking earlier, and a lot of the men in this are scumbags. I will agree, but London is like that though. Honestly, London is full of fucking people like that. So I kind of, it kind of got realistic to me. But even the bullying in where she is, you know, in the college where she is with the one.
Yeah, the other main kind of girl when they have that conversation, I think is very interesting. She's like, she mentions with her friend that, oh yeah, we're part of the Dead Moms Club, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
The big party that happens.
Her, you know, and she bullies her and shit.
Yeah, she's introduced to that one dude at the start that wants to help her with her bags, but of course she's like, "Oh no, because I don't trust anybody in this shady place right now." I forget that actor's name. He does a really good job here.
Yeah,
where he's like, "Okay, I'll help you." You know, gets introduced more to him later. I mean, there's like a scene where there's kind of like a party, and she just walks in their pajamas with her coat over and sits down when all this stuff is going on with her bow stuff, you know, playing and stuff like that.
She goes to the bed. I guess they call it a bed sit.
Yeah.
And so she gets the hell up out of there because she's not really with the party shit. And she's really, and we got to bring this up, she's really into the 1960s
music,
the time, the vibe, everything about that time. She fantasizes about that time. It's like that, you know, some people fantasize, if only I could live in this time.
Yeah.
And as it progresses, then it's like, wait a minute, that time is more fucked up, you know, like than this time.
There's a good scene, kind of to your point, where that starts, where she pulls the sheet over the bed where she's standing at. Then they widen that out. Yeah, they widen that out.
Yeah.
Like you say, I love the way everything looks in like say 60s London. I like that aesthetic a lot. Everything's kind of done in an enclosed space to me. It all seems to be done on that street, which I like very much.
And that's pretty much how Soho is like today and was, because there's that one scene that you get a picture of like Soho. She pretty much just walks back into the 1960s, and you've got the big marquee showing James Bond film.
And
that is done amazingly well. The detail.
The James Bond film is playing, isn't it? Also, the theater. I forget the name of it, but you see that up there. I'm thinking that's awesome. Dude, that's great.
It's Thunderball.
Yeah, Thunderball.
That's right, Thunderball. Yeah.
So that tells you right there that it's 1965. You know.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right in the heart of the 60s. See. And I think Edgar Wright mentions on the commentary. You know, he says people are kind of. A lot of us live in nostalgia. We want to go back in time. And he said it's not really a healthy thing, you know, because we should be living more in the moment, in the present. The future, we do not know, obviously. But this is, again, you know, all those things, really, you know, with what's to come with them, you know, there could be fate involved. There could be all sorts. You know, we won't get too much into it. I just don't want to.
There's a scene with at the start with Joy and Smith doing the 60s dance that looks straight out of Pulp Fiction to me. Right? He has the cigarette, drinking the bottle, tosses the cigarette, just doing like the twist and stuff like that. That's really good when they introduce her character.
That's what I wanted to touch more on. The first night she stays at the bed sit. She's transported back in time in the 60s. And then, like you're saying, Chris, she's like mirroring every move of Sandy.
Yeah, because it's through the mirror when she noticed there, which is really good. When she's walking down the stairs. Yeah.
They're like, you know, and then they can almost see each other in the mirror, or she can definitely see her.
It's like the same person.
Where Sandy sees her, which is odd. When you see the end of the movie, you know what I mean?
Right, because
it's kind of creepy.
The two characters in the end actually see her for who she is, don't they? Rather than her being a part of the one character.
Right.
But
that's the big hang up I got. That's one of the
okay. But
But
go on, sorry.
But like I said, man, the production value, like the way they made everything look exactly like the 60s, the way all the costume design and the sets, the architecture, fucking vehicles, all that shit, spot on. It's fucking amazing. And
it's incredible.
Yeah. All the acting really kills it in this film. Mackenzie kills it. Taylor Joy, of course, kills it. Matt Smith, he can literally, as an actor, transport himself to that time and act that way is brilliant to me. The way he's just sitting there. you know, and just to that point.
I've never been like a massive Doctor Who fan because he was in Doctor Who in the UK.
Yes, he has. That's when I was introduced.
But I mean, his performance in this, you know, as that guy is just incredible.
Yeah.
You know, you think
Jack.
as well.
Yeah, it's Jack. Yeah.
I know you're saying, Darren, that it's like that in London, but I just couldn't imagine that every dude was a piece of shit.
The sleazeball.
It's very heavy-handed that men are fucking evil in this fucking movie.
But so are the women and like some of the girls in this are as well, you know.
There's only one person out of this whole fucking town that is kind to her, you know. So it's really like that in London, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I would say it's
shit.
It's cutthroat. London is even today.
It's
some parts of London I would not go down in the daytime at all. And Soho would be a massive part of it.
You can almost
imagine being in a place where everybody's a fucking asshole. Because I've been to some big cities and there's some assholes, but then there's some good people. It's like half and half, you know.
Right.
I don't know.
Right, yeah. But, yeah, I would imagine it's similar to what New York was back in, you know.
Yeah.
Back in the day. But some of those scenes with her dancing, like you say, is done so well.
Yeah.
Through like different, like through mirrors and
the hairstyle, everything. She looks great.
It's all seamless. You can't tell.
You can't tell. Yeah. If you go and watch a behind the scenes look, the way they did it is so fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Where she's kind of off camera and then she comes in, then she goes off camera where the two girls rotate. It's amazing. But Anya Taylor-Joy is by far. I think the girl, Thomasin McKenzie, is superb. Yeah, and I think in any other film, this would be a great, you know, top level performance. I think Anya Taylor-Joy even takes it further. I mean, she is just incredible.
Anya Taylor-Joy over Mackenzie then.
I do.
I think so. I think she's the star of the film. Although I think Mackenzie's a great actress as well.
I think because she has to play these different type of roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy, she does change a bit. Her character does. You know what I mean? But Mackenzie's like so innocent.
And she's very pretty as well. She's very pretty as well.
There's a part where she's like so much in fear. And then there's a part where she becomes like not like she has to do what she's got to do.
She toughens up, yeah.
Like 3 different characters in that one character, like you know.
Yeah, I mean? and like I said, I think if it was just her and you didn't Anna Taylor-Joy's character wasn't as good as what she was, they would be talking about her like up here in terms of performance.
She's really the strength of the film. Like Anya Taylor-Joy, of course, is going to kill it. Like I think she's amazing. I love her in The Witch. She's really fucking good in The Witch.
Yeah.
But that's more like her film, you know what I mean?
Or just certain scenes where, and with Mackenzie's character, seeing her transition to look more like Joey's character, Sandy.
Yeah.
You know, she dyes the hair, which she looks quite good in that color. You know, she's walking with that confidence. You know, the stylish look, white. She has that like white jacket suit and it's black on the inside and stuff like that.
Like 400 euros on or something. She didn't have the money to do that shit.
You know, there's a scene where she's walking out to get this stuff, to buy this stuff, right? And she looks right across from her, and it says it's a massage parlor. So that kind of tells you something about this time and stuff like that when they're going to the past and present, going back and forth. But she sees a letter up there where she says, you know, she notices that. She's like, wait a minute, you know, where she's like, you know, where you kind of see the shift between different time periods. I really like that, you know, and she gets called back. You going to pay for that? Yeah, you know. So
the best way I can describe it is Soho was basically what like New York City back in the grindhouse, kind of 42nd Street, would have been. There were sex shops galore, even right up to like the 1980s, 1990s. There were sex shops everywhere in Soho. You see, even now it's kind of considered. It's been cleaned up a bit, but it's kind of considered.
Yeah, kind of shady like that.
But that's what like modern day, I can't see it, like every male character in the fucking movie is just like, I would think it has to be very similar to here. Like, your ass would be going to fucking jail, brother. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't be coming at me like that. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I like about. I think it portrays that so well, the 1960s Soho, because even so much as to say, back in I think it was the early 90s. You know, I had a couple of mates, and one night we were all, you know, having a drink in town and that. And one of us decided, like, said, well, let's go up to London to Soho and kind of get laid, you know, with strippers and what have you. I didn't go, but a couple of my friends went, and that was what you did back then. You know, that place was so seedy. But yeah, it's just like, you got the Rialto. They show the Rialto, don't they? And, you know, this club.
Rialto, that's the name of it, yeah.
And I was going to mention the scene as well with when they do this. Go on, Dirk. No, go on.
I'm not going to spoil the film, but I'm going to say a quote, and I don't think that I think they failed miserably.
Okay.
From this quote that this woman, she's the co-writer of the film. Her name's Christy Wilson Cairns, and she says the film is about the exploitation of women and the exploitation of any marginalized group. Now, if that's the case, this is what I'm saying. I can't spoil the film, though. So, again, I gotta wait. I just want to get that off the top of my head. Like, wow,
gotcha, Dirk. Yeah.
But we'll talk about it. Like, if I say anything else, I'm gonna spoil it. But I'm gonna definitely tell y'all why this motherfucker dropped for me. You know. So
there is a scene where Joy's character basically is, you can say, becomes this escort type of woman. You can just say that, what it is.
Yeah. And
like the first scene where she's asking first dude asks, what's your name? Sandy. Oh, that's a beautiful name, right? Then the name changes all the time, where she goes Alexandra, which is her surname, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes on and on.
She starts making up names.
Yeah. It's that picture that I put up at the start of the screen on YouTube, right? Where it shows Mackenzie's character on the other side of that mirror, right? Just hammering it. Just do something, you know, where there's the one scene with one dude who happens to be smoking a cigarette, and he's sitting there, and he asks what's your name? Oh, my name is so-and-so. And he's like, no, it's not.
Right.
I know what your name is, right? And I'm like, yeah, you can see that's when she starts pounding on it. Really good stuff there with the mirror. I like that a lot. Like, she's trapped. She can't do anything to help her. She's trying to help her, you know, and that's a great scene too, by the way. I like it a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. And I was going to mention the one scene I really like a lot, because there's like a Sandy Shaw song, "Puppet on a String."
Yeah.
And when they're doing that routine, and she comes out, and you at first you think she's going to be the star of that sort of act, but then you realize she's one of like the chorus girls.
Yeah, one of the chorus girls.
And she absolutely fucking nails that dance.
Oh yeah, no, she looked damn good looking.
I am telling you, yeah, she looks so nice in that scene. But all the songs, you got the Cilla Black songs, which probably mean nothing to you two, but I grew up with all that shit. Even 60 songs in the 70s was
downtown.
A lot, you know?
You can go downtown.
Yeah,
she
downtown.
That.
Definitely is probably.
Yeah, you can go downtown. I'm like, that's really good. You know, when it's like a audition for her, and she sings the downtown song. I'm like going, oh yeah, that represents Soho and these cities.
That's really her singing too. So yeah.
I was gonna say, did you realize, right, that they actually mentioned about doing that song, and I think they were going to pre-record it or something, but Edgar Wright actually got it. He thought, you know, I've got something, you know, put you in the studio and do this song properly. And I think it's one of the best. You know, you can't say it's as good as the original, because nothing ever is, but I think she could make it as a singer. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
and a lot of these
people, a lot of the actors and actresses, I mean, they're multi-talented. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I mean, she's never looked better. I might, if you see her name on, she kind of, I don't know what's going on with the kind of skinny look she's got too much. But in this film, she was perfection, I think.
I liked her in The Northman, too. I thought
I've not seen that.
That's right, it's the Valkyrie. Yeah. That's right, that is her. Oh, that's right. My goodness.
And she's in Split. You ever seen Split? That's
Yes.
where the first time I ever saw her on screen.
Oh, James McAvoy
was in the movie Split.
No, is she a big role? Is that a big role, Pat?
That's her first. That's like her first time I ever seen her in anything. But that's
is
my
favorite
role by
Is it a sizable role?
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
She's very young.
Check.
She's really young in that one though.
Gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
There's that. There's the like I say, the Mackenzie character, Eloise. That's her name in the film.
Look
like
at
say at the start.
You see Gizmo. He says, "Bye everyone in the chat. No bye to the host because they hate us.
Yeah.
But I love you, Holland, in a non-3D love kind of way." What the fuck?
Downtown, everyone smokes cocaine downtown.
Oh shit! They own that blow-cane, huh?
I've heard the menu is quite good.
I've seen the menu. I've seen it.
Oh, she's in that as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She's like at the cover, like
she is pretty skinny in that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. She is kind of like you say more, like less.
The menu is kind of middle of the road for me. I know a lot of people love that movie, but it's I'll probably never revisit it. You know what I mean? But a lot of people love it. They're like.
I do like the Eloise character, like you say, Dirk, her being kind of stuck during that time, like at the start when she's doing that dance. I really like that where it goes last night in Soho like that, you know? And it's like she's wearing, what is it, like a newspaper type of dress? I noticed that. Right? Yeah. She has that record player.
And
she's got very much like a naivety about her character.
She does. Well, it's like, say, going to this new place, almost like you say Mulholland Drive, right? They have these big dreams, right? He goes, and, and like say, the grandma, great acting job by her. Just basically
one thing, another gripe I got. Okay, the overuse of CGI with certain things. I'm not going to say what it is because then
I know
what you're talking about, Dirk. Yeah, the ending could have been better without a lot of that done. To your point, I know exactly what you're talking about. I like the scenes in the bedroom a lot. In that one particular scene in the bedroom where there's a mirror at the top at the start, which I like that because that's what that kind of represents. Like the mirror is a gateway to something else, right? That's kind of a representation for me. And stuff like that. But to your point, like the ending, which I really like the ending, it kind of falls flat a little bit. I like the twist a lot. I really do like the twist a lot because I did not see that coming.
Particularly when she's running through the streets and she keeps seeing these things.
Yeah.
The CGI.
Like I say, just the twist at the end really does a complete 180. And that's great acting job by everybody in those scenes. But yeah, great scenes in there. I like they show just the whole parts of Soho in general, like modern to like the 60s to 65 to your points, and seeing like the difference and how modern it's kind of become. Like that's an awesome library that she's in. My goodness, dude. It's very modern.
That's a great scene actually with when she's going through the whole kind of looking up all the newspapers.
There's a Halloween,
but there's a detail. There's a detail in that. If you look at her, she's looking up these like basically men going missing.
Yes. Yeah.
Women. Sorry, I should say women going missing, but there's kind of like a men going missing. And
boxer goes missing
in there as well.
Yeah. And I didn't take to that at the start until towards the end where I'm like going, oh, okay, now I get it.
Same. I didn't pick up on that. I think second time I watched it, I probably picked up on that.
There's a Halloween club party that I like a lot. Where they go to this, where he goes, you want to go somewhere, just whatever like that. She's like, yes, give me the bleep out of here. It's like, those. It happens to be in 3, right? You notice that? So it happens to be, I think, 3 of them and stuff like that. It's the one rival you can call her gives them those drinks and stuff like that, right? Lovebirds, right? The cool dancing and all this stuff too. I like that scene a lot because she's like looking in a certain direction.
I mean, the song being played is Susie and the Banshees' Happy House.
Yeah, it's a happy house.
The way, like the intro of that song is amazing. If you listen back to it, and it works perfectly with that scene.
It's a good soundtrack to the film. Yeah, it's a very good soundtrack to the film. Like I said, to your point, kind of too, Dirk, they could have done some stuff better in this. Like it's almost like, is she really crazy? Because there's a scene where she's running after somebody, then she falls, right? All of a sudden, she's back at her job. I'll just say that, like, it did bust her head open, nothing like that, which I always found like interesting. But it's like going, boy, she is all over the place. Great acting job by her. Just like going, whoa, she's like tripping out. Something's wrong here, So,
but now Dirk said that about that CGI, and I'm kind of thinking a little bit about it as well. And he's kind of right. They could easily have done that using practical, but chose not to. Obviously,
the one scene on the bed towards the end, I liked more than the other stuff that's going on around her. But the scene in the bed, towards the end of that,
in the reflection of the knife.
Yes. I love that. That's really good.
An incredible shot.
That got turned on its head too later on.
Favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then they overused the Giallo lighting, I feel like.
Talk about the lights on the outside from the sign.
The red fucking light. It's always blinking, and it's like, okay, Suspiria has that. Okay, there is a lot of that kind of shit going on in Suspiria and other Giallo films.
Right.
But damn, it's like way like I kind of get like the try hard shit going on. Like
I understand that. Yeah, tries to do too much, basically.
Yeah, but I didn't notice it until like this like the first time I loved the damn thing. And y'all are probably gonna trip out on my score, but
no, like I say, it's interesting that we all got different. Like I think I'm more kind of lined up with Chris, but it's interesting you've got a different opinion.
Yeah, once I get off the stream, I'll explain why fully, because if I explain it here, I'm gonna spoil the damn thing, and I don't want to do that.
So. Let's just get the score from everybody. So go ahead, Dirk. Give us your score here.
Before you do the scores, I want to ask you one thing. Chris didn't see the ending coming. Did you see the ending coming first time? Dirk, did you work it out, so to speak?
No. That's one of the better endings I've seen in a while.
Did you figure it
out? It totally had me fooled. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't figure it out.
I love that main. That all I'm gonna say is there's a main twist with the one character. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I really liked it because I did not see that coming.
Right. But after rewatching it actually you can work it out if you.
It does, yeah. I was gonna say it does give you the clues if
it gives you the fucking clues, yeah.
On set, like it doesn't cheat in any way, shape, or form.
I'll just say this: there is one quote at the end which I liked, where this person mentions, "Is like, you know what? I never listened to this stuff for a long time until you came along. It's like I decided to bust these guys out and start playing, and I'm like going, oh, wait a minute. It's like, oh shit, So good twist in this.
Yeah.
That puts it up for my score.
There's just a couple little things that
they could have done better.
That made it drop for me, and I hate that because it's very important to me. Like these couple things we're gonna talk about. But
I do agree with you on that comment that Christy Wilson Carnes mentioned. I do kind of agree with you on that. That can bring it down a bit, for me. It's like for comments like that, I try to stay away from those. Sometimes you can't. You have no choice. You're like going, well, wait a minute. If you think of that because you co-produced this, co-wrote it.
It makes me think that Edgar Wright, like somebody squeezing the shit out of his balls, She
does it. She's on the commentary track. I actually did hear the commentary track last night with her and Edgar Wright.
Okay,
so it was both of them. Okay,
and it's not what you think. I was expecting a bit more from the commentary than what I got.
Yeah.
Even though they do talk about the film, and now it's not what you think it's gonna be. That's all I'll say with that. But
we'll talk about
Rachel Nesbitt or Troy Howarth or
no, nothing like that. So they're both. She's kind of blowing smoke up his ass a lot as well during it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you'll get an Arrow collector's edition release in another 10 years or something from other boutique label with the commentary by Troy Howarth on there.
I'll definitely keep it in my collection because for a 2020 film,
2021. Yeah, 2021.
Is it 2020? Okay.
Yeah, 2021. I so disagree on Dirk over this.
This is probably the best film of that year.
To be fair, I think it's now. So that's what I'm getting at. Like,
yeah. So you've given it a fair go, yeah.
at first I really liked it when I first saw it. Like I was like, hell yeah, this is amazing, you know, kind of shit. Yeah. Then the second watch, I'm like, yeah, it's still good. But this third watch and then doing this and like looking shit up about it, I'm like, oh fuck, man. Fuck.
Right.
That's the thing about rewatching films though. So it's either gonna hurt the film for you or it's gonna make it so much fucking better.
Right. So it can go both ways.
Which in this case, it made this one go down for me. Yeah. But it made
you don't want that slip Dirk.
Now go way the fuck up for me. So
there you go. It shows appreciation for stuff like that.
And then Neon Demon stayed the same, and Klute, hell, it might go up because I really like that movie.
Yeah.
So I am going to say this is for me. This is one of the best films of the 2000s. I honestly believe that.
Of the 2020s?
Yeah, 2020s, yeah.
I think it's the best film of that year.
Even 2000?
Say 2000 onward, I would say the last 20 years, I would say this is one of the best films.
That's 20 years.
But I mean, like knowing Chris likes it as well, but I mean, it could be a UK thing where because I love all the music anyway, like the Cilla Black. What's it called on his t-shirt?
Hereditary. A family drama.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's great, a family drama. Yeah. I put Midsommar on that list.
Oh, yeah. Midsommar, too. Shit, yeah.
I didn't hate the Hereditary. I just didn't particularly like it. But
what score do you give it, Darren? Go ahead.
I give it a strong 9 out of 10. Maybe on a little bit with my fan goggles on type of thing. But
rose-colored glasses of the 60s, man. Hell yeah, dude.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe there's a bit of that. So maybe Dirk's score could be possibly the right score, maybe. But what do you give it, Chris? What do you give it?
I give it a I'll say a mid 8 out of 10. You know, kind of like Gizmo will say mid 8 out of 10. On Letterboxd, I gave it, I think, 3.5 out of 4 stars. I think I did. Or out of 5 stars, excuse me. 3.5 out of 5. So that's, like I say, Anya Taylor-Joy kills it for me in this. She's great. Kenzie Roll as her, she's great. Terrence Stamp is great. What's the lady's name again?
Diana Rigg.
Yeah, she's great. These are all great actors.
Yeah, Diana Rigg is amazing.
Yeah, Matt Smith, definitely. I'm shocked he hasn't gotten bigger roles. Everything I've seen Matt Smith in, he kills it.
He completely nails that Jack character. Absolutely nails it, man.
Michael Ajajo, I think that's how you say his name, is the kind of like boyfriend in this. I think he does a great part in this.
Right, yeah.
He's kind of like her. I like the relationship between the two. He's kind of like her, and you kind of see that where it's kind of like me. He's that nice dude, and he kind of explains to her, says, I understand, I get it.
Well, that's part for me is I kind of didn't like that at all. I didn't think he was like that.
The fact that, like, especially what happens later.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the one fucking apologizing. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Now, what are you doing? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there's a trippy scene that happens. There's a trippy scene that happens where it's like going, where he says, "Oh fuck," and it's like,
But I didn't buy into that relationship at all. It just never seemed.
It was just kind of there to be there. I kind of get that because he wasn't in there a lot. He's just
there's no chemistry between the two. There's just absolutely nothing. It's kind of like they got him in there to fill a certain quota,
right.
and what have you, without going too deep into it. But I mean, as an actor, and he didn't do it for me. It's probably one of the weaker parts of the plot. I thought.
Okay, Dirk, let's hear it.
Okay, so I had this film at a 7 out of 10.
Oh wow.
Okay, it was at a 7.
Here we go.
But now it's at a 4 out of 10.
Shit.
Number 4.
Yeah. At a 4. And
that's not even like a point drop, is it? That's like massive.
It's a massive thing, though. I got to explain it to y'all when we get off. Because if I explain it here, I'm going to spoil the shit out of the movie.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from with what I think I know what you're going to say. I don't know whether he would drop it like 3 points, though.
So Letterboxd, that's a 1.5 out of 5. Is that right? Or a 2 out of 5. So
2 out of 5. That's crazy for me. But I mean,
it is.
We got
Letterboxd has a 2 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say we got friends, Steve and Dana, and I mean, I think they kind of liked it, but they weren't that big on it. And I was surprised. I thought
for everybody, yeah.
I thought this would be a banger with everyone. I really did.
It was, but I dug a little deeper, and maybe sometimes I shouldn't.
Well, I get it.
It tries to do different things. There is a lot of stuff going on in this film too. That's probably why I like it so much. To the point, there's like 3 or 4 different shit going on here, right? Where it could be like, well, what's like really going on? Is it like there's it's.
I'll say this about without spoiling the movie. It does break its own fucking rule in one part of the film.
Oh.
But I'll explain it. I'll explain it fully. But
right.
Yeah, I'm intrigued now. I don't know what you're on about there, but yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off stream. So yeah, all good. So yeah, party people, thanks for all hanging around. Chat, really appreciate it. We had a good amount of people in here watching us just bullshit about these movies that we love so much, and whatever too so much.
Is Gizmo still in the chat, or is he gone?
No, he left because he was being like a spoiled little brat.
He was left out. He was left out of the stream. You know, it happens.
No.
Yeah, these are the ones. These are all heavy hitters.
Yeah, man. I mean, exceptional
genres for different times.
But, you know.
Yeah, genres for different times.
Yeah.
Really, we can all kind of settle on this. Like I say, they're Giallo inspired films. That's a definite. And it's just great that the genre can spawn films like this. So
that's the only 3 I got. Don't Look Now, Neon Demon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last Night in Soho.
So yeah, 4 for the 4. So
I think that's a good week's viewing there. The 4th film.
It's a great week's viewing for this. I was so happy when you mentioned these films, Darren, because I have them and I'm like, I might as well flip and watch them. That's what I started to do. So, and it's great.
So would you recommend them in that order? To watch them in that order probably would be better, wouldn't it? Klute,
yes,
Don't Look Now, Neon Demon.
These two go together, and surprisingly to me, these two go together.
Yeah,
they're different films, but they go together.
The aesthetic.
The aesthetic goes.
The way that the lighting is and shit is very similar.
I can say these two are kind of similar because it shows like going through a city. You know, going through the city, the landscapes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right.
Both of these have Donald Sutherland in it and stuff like that too.
I would say though, out of these 4, the one that's the most like a Giallo for me is Klute.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's almost Alfred Hitchcock too a lot.
Yeah, it's more like a true Giallo to me.
Yeah,
like which I know all of them have the elements, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, they do. I do have Patient Zero there, Wild Wrangler. I haven't watched it yet. That looks to be a batshit kind of crazy movie. I didn't know Matt Smith was in that. So.
Oh, he's in that, yeah? Is he? I would say Don't Look Now to me would. Sorry, go on, Chris.
No, go ahead, Darren. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
I was going to say, I would say Don't Look Now to me would be the one that I find more Giallo-esque out of all 4. But I can see like Klute as well a lot.
Yeah, I really like Klute. Of course, it's
Don't Look Now is so much got. I don't know, man. It's kind of like its own. Its own.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Yeah.
These are just kind of their own thing, which I like about it. I would. The one I'd go back to the most, which is surprising, probably is this one. I really do love all these films and stuff like that too, but there's something about the Neon Demon. I don't know. There's something about this. Seeing it for the first time with an all-star cast of people in here.
We didn't even mention the score, man, by Cliff Martinez.
Yes.
It's an amazing score, yeah.
That's the only special feature on this damn thing, really, on this disc that is because it's the director and him like talking about the score and stuff like that too. You have a quick like Giallo where they're talking to the actors and stuff like that before the film, Keanu talking like Keanu talks, but that'd be the Neon Demon. I'd go back to Last Night in Soho. I am intrigued after a second watch.
It's probably the last time. It's probably the last time for me, but
last time for the Last Night in Soho.
Last night Soho for me.
Last night Soho for me.
No, that surprises me. That's fair comment though. You know, everyone likes what they like.
Yeah, man.
I would definitely say
maybe watch it a couple more times and let me know what you think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would definitely say to Chris to watch the Neon Demon with Suspiria in mind. The next time you watch it, just kind of
because that kind of piqued my interest there a little bit. I'm like, you know, I can see that. Anything you gentlemen are doing in the near future? Happy holidays to everybody, by the way, as well.
Oh God, absolutely, yeah.
Saturday we'll be covering Bloody Moon. It's Slashers of the Nasties.
Oh, nice.
So on an Hour to Kill, covering Bloody Moon.
Hell yeah.
The Burning.
Cannibal Man. Burning and
Cannibal Man.
Yeah. I've seen
which
the
I've
Burning.
never
The other
I've
two
never
I
seen.
haven't. Yeah.
I've never seen Cannibal Man, which I've always kind of been interested in.
It's not a cannibal film. It's just, it's not the right title for that movie.
It's a slasher, though, nonetheless.
It's a slasher. It's not. There's not a one scene of cannibalism, which is odd to name a movie Cannibal Man.
Cannibal Man.
We got quite a lot of shit coming up, actually, because we got the Asia Argento stream, which I need to get my ass into gear.
Yeah,
I need to start watching them.
I've watched several of those.
Gizmo's doing his Femme Fatales one. That's next month. What, the second? I think.
That's the one I'm on about. Yeah, Asia Argento. We're covering everything.
Femme Fatale. I can see it.
Yeah, I watched a really crazy one with her that she directed, and holy shit, the heart is deceitful above all things. You got to see it. And it's going to piss you off.
The infamous one, really.
Yeah,
because
it'll piss you
do you
off.
want to say? Go on, say the story, Dirk.
Oh well, I'll save that for the Asia.
Oh, okay.
For the Asia stream, the Asian stream, the Asia.
Let's just say, to do with that film, it becomes very dark in real life. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and it really pisses you off when you watch the movie.
So, right. I can see that.
It did me anyway. I want to jump in the fucking screen and strangle the shit out of somebody. But that's how it made me feel. So it's effective. The movie's very effective.
Very cool.
Made me feel that shit,
I can't wait to check that out. I know I'm working those days. I'm getting back on track. Here we go. I'm going to lay off the sauce, maybe permanently this time. Time for me to get back on track and doing what I was doing. So Wednesday, I'm going to be doing your favorite film there, Dirk. For Giallo Wednesday, I'm going to be doing Your Vice is a Locked Room, and only I have the key. So I'm going to be doing my Giallo Wednesday on that bad boy by Sergio Martino, a very good Italian director. He may be up there as my favorite Italian Giallo director.
Oh, really?
A lot of people shit on Martino, it seems. Huh. I don't know. A lot of people seem to shit on him. I'm like, I love Torso. Torso is top tier Giallo for me. It just is. Maybe because it's more slasher, but
it's both. It's like a hybrid, definitely. So
Your Voice is definitely one of the best.
It's my favorite, of all time.
It's
and it's also the first one I ever saw, so that might have something to do with it. It's the one that drugged me in to the genre,
But it holds up, though. If you watch it today, it just holds up. The performance is Edwige Finesse in like a different role to what she usually does.
Yeah.
Oh, but Luigi Pistilli's fantastic.
And Strindberg, Anita Strindberg.
Anita Strindberg, brilliant. Yeah.
Have
you seen that yet, Chris, or are you just about to watch it? Your Voice.
No, I just got that. I just got Your Voice as part of the last Arrow sale that they had, and I'm like, I got Your Vice. I bought Your Vice, and I bought The Case of the Scorpion's Tail, which I heard is really good too. So I'll probably do that the next Giallo Wednesday after that. And then,
so do you like the Black Cat stories?
That's what
I love the Black Cat. I love Fulci's The Black Cat a lot.
It's Martino's version of Edgar Allan Poe's Black Cat.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I'm intrigued.
It plays perfectly with Fulci's film. I'd say as a double bill. It's just
perfect. Okay. Right. Yeah. And then speaking of Fulci, this will be the season finale of Fulci Friday. This is the last Fulci that I actually own. Finally, I'm going to watch The Psychic and give my thoughts on that for Fulci Friday.
Yeah.
That might be my release of the year. That might be my release of the year, depending how much. And I love Fulci anyway. I like him a little over Argento wise.
Yeah, me too. Fulci is. I got him over Argento.
He might be my favorite Italian director. Really, I just love Fulci for what he did for the genre in general, for everything. So it'll be cool to check that out. And then Slasher Saturday, I'm finally going to. I'm going to watch finally. Technically, it's a trauma film for Slasher Saturday. It's a Graduation Day, and I've seen clips. I've watched some of Graduation Day, but I need to watch the rest of that. I have that one that Vinegar Syndrome released with the slip. That's right. So.
I mean, go into that with low expectations, but it's not amazing. But as a slasher film, it's just fun. Yeah.
It was on Amazon Prime for a while. I've seen the openings to it and stuff like that, and I just wasn't into it at the time. You know what I mean? And so I'm like going, why not? It's a slasher, so I'll watch it.
Is that Christopher George? He's in that. Yeah.
Oh, he is he? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got
Linnea
Quigley in it.
George.
Linnea Quigley. Yeah.
She's not in it long, I don't think, but she is in it.
Other than that, it's all good. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging in with us. Not too bad. A good almost 2 hours, 30 minutes of these awesome Giallo Kings right here talking a bit, me just being a pauper and everything. So anyway, if you could like and subscribe to all these dudes you see here. I
appreciate
everybody else. Darren will eventually get his channel up and running. I can't wait to see that and stuff like that. But,
it's coming.
I got you, Darren. Yeah, take your time, my friend. Everything takes time. But thank you again for the love and support for all of us here. For me specifically, I appreciate that. 96. I think Caveman said I was maybe at 97.
Nice.
When I eventually get my Umbrella stuff in, I have 2 things from Umbrella coming in. I'll probably for the 100 subscriber stream, I'll do an unboxing of those bad boys. They sent me nice emails with promotional codes for next order, so they apologize, and I understand it's Umbrella. It's it's another country and stuff like that, so I know they've had issues, but that's all good. And anyway, thank you all for the love, support. Like you can slash the like, sleeping bag kill, like Jason Voorhees in part 7 against that tree. And anyway, we'll take you all, talk to you all later. You all have a awesome, blessed Thanksgiving. Go see the Slasher Thanksgiving, and I will see you on the next one. I'll take care, and see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.